Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's broadcast. We are live at the High Point Solutions Arena at the TD Bank Sports Center. Quinnipiac University men's ice hockey action brought to you by the student-run Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network, known here as the Qbsn. The Bobcats are in action today, taking on the University of Nebraska-Omaha in a nationally ranked matchup featuring the number 9 Bobcats versus the number 12 Mavericks. I'm going to bring on my color man now, Rob Ciambra, and we're going to talk about really what this game means for both teams in terms of the pairwise rankings. Rob?
Well, as you just said, Neil, we're going to talk about the pairwise rankings. Pairwise, for those of you who do not know, the pairwise rankings are more important than what you usually see in the newspapers for national rankings. It's not the same as the United States College Hockey Online poll or the USA Today poll. The pairwise is what matters for the NCAA tournament. That is the rankings that all the teams focus on where they're ranked in order to get to the NCAA tournament, because it just goes by the top 16 teams if I remember correctly.
And who you beat, really. And you touched on we'll touch on here. It's different from college basketball in that in college basketball there is hundreds of teams across the nation, and in college hockey there's only a fraction of those teams. And as opposed to the 65 or 68 teams I think it is for college basketball now, only 16 make the field for the NCAA tournament for college hockey, and it's all a matter of who you beat and the points that you get off of that. So in this game, a non-conference game, I look at it as more a thing where you can only gain from this game. If you lose the game, yes, it goes as a loss on your record, but you can only gain from this game in that if Quinnipiac wins, they get all the points that Nebraska-Omaha gets for beating a team like Minnesota. Well, if Nebraska-Omaha wins, they get all the points for beating for Quinnipiac when Quinnipiac beat Cornell. So, in my opinion, you can only win from this game. How do you feel about that?
I kind of agree with you with that. I mean, it's all in the experience, playing a team, even though Quinnipiac's higher ranked them, they play in a different division. These are teams that Bobcats can see if when, if you want to be optimistic, and they do make the NCAA tournament the way it's looking. It's everyone. You see many different teams. It's good the non-conference games because you never know who you're going to see. In the NCAA tournament, whether it's the regionals or moving on to the next rounds. And
the way that this Bobcats team has played, in the beginning of the year, we didn't know whether or not this team had a chance at an at-large bid, but they've played so consistently that a win this weekend, a split this weekend, maybe even a sweep this weekend, could just solidify that at-large bid even more, because I think they're at number 6 right now in the pairwise rankings, and getting points from this Nebraska-Omaha team could be huge also. So transitioning off of that, Nebraska-Omaha comes in a new team this season after back-to-back 20-win seasons under their new coach, Dean Blaze, who has a very impressive resume. And I know, Rob, you did some research on Coach Blaze. What did you find out about him?
Oh, Dean Blaze, he's had quite a career. He was coaching at University of North Dakota for a while earlier, and he won national championships in 1997 and in 2000. From 2004 to 2007, he worked in the Columbus Blue Jackets organization, including player development. So he's had experience all around. He's also coached in high school in North Dakota. He also coached in the United States Hockey League, which is the juniors. Some players will play before either turning pro or going to some colleges. Dean Blaze, he just had one heck of a career. Now bringing his greatness to the University of Nebraska-Omaha can only benefit them.
Yeah, I know. And when he was coaching the U.S. juniors, the U.S. under-20 team, I know he won a gold medal with them up in Canada. So pretty impressive what he has done. And from reading their recaps of this season, you can tell that his conditioning program has been talked about multiple times, and what that's really done for this team as they've been able to close games in the third period, and it shows. And they're not getting fatigued as opposed to in years past, is what it says. And it's really interesting what he's done with this program, and it just makes for a better matchup today. So transitioning off of that, I know I have a player to watch on Nebraska-Omaha, but I want to hear your player to watch first from the Bobcats.
I'd have to say it's Eric Hartzell. He's been a brick wall pretty much for the Bobcats all season. I mean, sometimes they have a little trouble controlling the rebounds. But other than that, Eric Hartzell has been great for the Bobcats this year. He's really stepped up, being the senior goalie. I think he's really the guy you got to keep an eye on, because if he can't do the job, you got to probably fall back on Michael Gartig to see what he can do.
Yeah, but I mean, at this point, Hartzell's goals against average is 1.29. That's outstanding.
It is.
If he is able to maintain a pace like that, I know you're a hockey junkie. You grew up in the area, commuter, and you've been watching this program for a while. If he's able to maintain this goals against average for the season, where can you say he ranks among all the Quinnipiac goalies of all time?
Well, I have to say he'd definitely be in my top 2 or 3, seeing the last time Quinnipiac was at the NCAA tournament, if I remember correctly, if I'm looking at this correctly as well, was 2001-2002 season, and Quinnipiac had 2 freshman goalie that year in Jamie Holden and Bo Christini. Justin Eddy was the sophomore that year. I grew up watching Eddy and Holden mostly. And I have to say, if Jamie Holden isn't my number 1, then I think I'd have to pick Eric Hartzell there. Depending on I wouldn't say it solely depends on the outcome of this season, because he has already done a great deal, but he definitely is up there.
And it's just been incredible to watch how well he's played on the road, too. This team, the Bobcats, have a 7-0-1 record on the road, and their past 2 road series, it was 2 games in RPI and Union one weekend, 2 games in Clarkson and St. Lawrence one weekend, and each weekend he combined to give up, I think it was 1 goal in the combined 2 games, like 2 goals in that 4-game stretch. He's just played out of his mind, and he's played exceptionally well on the road, and pretty well here at home also. And with that 12-2-2 record, it's going to be interesting to see what he can do for the rest of the season off of that. And then now my player to watch for Nebraska Omaha, because we don't really get to talk about them that much. Obviously, coming out from the Midwest, you don't see a team like this come here often. This is the 3rd straight year that the Bobcats have played Nebraska Omaha, though. It's one of those, for the fans at home, it works non-conference. You can sign contracts where you face a team 4 years in a row, similar to what the Bobcats did with Ohio State. This is the 3rd year of the deal with Nebraska Omaha, trading off every other year, either in Nebraska or here in Hamden. But the player to watch from the Mavericks is Ryan Walters. Right now, he is 2nd in the nation in scoring with 26 points, trailing only Drew LeBlanc of St. Cloud State. And this is the best numbers he's had of his career. His freshman year, he put up 23 points. Sophomore year, 25. He's at 26 right now. And after talking to the broadcasters from Nebraska Omaha, they say that he's just made everyone around him better. And that top line of Ryan Walters, Dominic Zombo, and Josh Archibald are just having a monster year for them. So definitely a guy to keep your eye out on tonight if you're a Bobcats fan. And quickly going off of that, we're going to talk about the starters. First, for the University of Nebraska Omaha, the starting line, as I just mentioned, is Ryan Walters, and he is centered by Dominic Zombo, and on Zombo's right is Josh Archibald. On defense, they got a pair of giants starting at 6'7", number 8 Jacob Megna, and his D partner listed at 6'8" is Andre Schuster. In net for the Mavericks from Nebraska Omaha is a true freshman born in 1994, Anthony Solars, and he's no slouch himself, listed at 6'6", 220 pounds. Now the starters for the Bobcats. Starting at left wing for the Bobcats, the senior Clay Harvey. Centering his line is the 2nd active leading scorer in the nation, and Jeremy Langlois. And on his right is Matthew Pekka. On the left defense is Lauren Barron. And on the right defense, his D partner, the captain, Zach Curry. And in net, the man we just talked about, Eric Hartzell. So we're going to take a quick break during the national anthem and the introductions. We'll come back right before the game and puck drop. Don't go away. And welcome back to the High Point Solutions Arena. I'm Neil Rava with my co-host for today's game, Rob Ciambra. We are part of the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network, known here as the Qbsn. Quinnipiac University men's ice hockey in action today against the University of Nebraska Omaha Mavericks. A number 9 versus number 12 matchup. And quickly before the game starts, Rob, I need keys to the victory for both teams.
I think, well, first off, for Nebraska Omaha, they're playing a nationally ranked higher team in the Bobcats. I think they need to come out for this game, for the whole weekend as well. I think they need to come out with at least 1 win, just to get some national recognition to show, hey, we can still beat anyone higher ranked, Bobcats, we've seen this in the past that they've come back from this long winter break to a slow start and not being able to completely recover from a great first half. So they need to come out and show this weekend, as well as this first game in general, they need a win and to show, hey, we're not going anywhere. It's not going to be like what our history shows. We're staying,
Exactly. And you've seen that in the past when they don't have any students in the student section because it's on winter break. A winter break special today. We do have some people here in the crowd today. Looks like a good 1,500 to 2,000, I would say. And a great crowd for a great matchup, really, though, between, like we said, two nationally ranked teams between the Mavericks and the Bobcats. Now, I'm just saying, my quick cue to the game, when I was playing hockey growing up, I always knew about getting into a big game. You got to take a hit or give a hit on your first shift, and that really gets you mentally focused for that game. But here we go, the opening face-off between Dominic Zombo and Langlois. Langlois wins it back to Curry. Curry over to Lauren Barron. Barron up. Langlois tips it in deep. Back to play it is Zombo. Zombo races to the puck with Pekka. Pekka and Zombo collide. Archibald picks it up on the far side. There's big 6'7" Jason Magna with the puck. Passes it up to Archibald. Archibald clears it up high over the glass through the neutral zone. And Ryan Walters wins the race to the puck with Lauren Barron. Nope, Barron takes it away from him behind the net. Pushes it up to Harvey. Harvey through the middle to Pekka. Pekka and Langlois up. 2-on-2. Langlois with a great zangle. Fires on net. And Stolarz can't find it, but it just sits in front of the crease where Archibald picks it up, passes it over to Schuster. Schuster leads it up to Zombo, and Zombo gets it in deep. Great chance for the Bobcats there in their first shift with a great move by Langlois. Davies works it up. Tipped in deep by Kellen Jones. Nope, kept in the neutral zone by Anilowski. Connor Jones has it. Moves, fires twice, 3 times on Stolarz. Stolarz is just able to cover up now with a little bit of a scrum in front already. Great action for the Bobcats, though, in the first shift.
Starting off really aggressive. That puck that Nebraska Omaha goalie could not find actually kind of went off the crossbar. It was kind of a knuckle puck type of shot. But it
looked behind him for a second.
Yeah, looked good. I thought it was in. I almost started yelling because I remembered I was on the broadcast.
Well, great move by Langlois, though, to create that space. Draw out. One back to Tolkien. Tolkien knocks it in deep. St. Dennis battling with Sealer there. Rolls around to the corner. Connor Jones ups it in farther. Sealer pushes it back. Jones has it behind the net. Makes the move. Puck falls in front, and Colin Jones couldn't get a stick on it. Tangled up with Anilowski there. Puck comes out to the neutral zone with an icing warning. No, waved off. Tolkien gets back there. Takes a big hit from Brian O'Rourke, the defenseman playing up on forward for Nebraska Omaha this weekend. Puck tips up to Jones, who knocks it in deep. Back to play to Sealer. Takes a hit from Van Brabant. Dalhusen steps up. The puck comes all the way back down to the Bobcats zone where Federico crowds it, shoots it out, and he has it back in his own zone. Works it up to the neutral zone where he passes up to Arndt. Arndt tips it in deep. Young back to play it for the Mavericks. Gets his pocket picked by Van Brabant. Finds Jordan Samuels-Thomas, who fires it home. One-timer. Van Brabant picked Sealer's pocket behind the net, wrapped around the far side, passed it to JST, who tipped it past the blocker of Stolarz for a 1-0 Bobcats lead just around 2 minutes into the game.
That's great positioning by Samuels-Thomas. Went right to the front of the net, as you said. Puck came right out to him, tipped a nice little one-timer right past the goalie. Great job by Samuels-Thomas reading the play.
And a great forecheck there by Van Brabant. Next draw, one back by Brent Gwitt, the captain of the Mavericks. On our near side now is Michael Young with the puck. Shoots it up to the neutral zone, looking for Charlie Adams. Picked off by Van Brabant. Then Young puts Van Brabant into the Bobcats bench. Puck ends up deep in the Mavericks zone, but worked out quickly by Gwitt. Back into the Mavericks zone again, where Young picks it up. Goes D to D with his partner. Works it up to Gwitt, who looks for Adams in the neutral zone. Might have been offsides. He is waved good, though. He dumps in the deep where Curry gets it. Ooh, shot goes off from the side there by Tony Turgeon. Comes back around to Zach Curry. Curry takes a big hit, and he goes down. He's holding his head. Play continues up the ice, though, where Bowie brings in the offensive zone. It looked like Curry got an elbow to the head there. Battle along the boards behind the net for Nebraska Omaha. They work it out up to Walters. Walters in the neutral zone. Finds Archibald with a step on his defenseman. Archibald looking for Zombo, but Zombo isn't there. Had Hartsell coming out of his net. A possible 2-on-1 chance, but he couldn't do that. Pekka works it back up into the Nebraska zone, where it's corralled by Schuster, who pushes it back up to Walters, who shoots it for Archibald on the far side, but it looks like this is going to go for an icing. No, and a huge hit given by Archibald on Tolkien. Might have been checking from behind, but no call there. Tolkien back up, though. Good to see that. Puck comes back up on the boards to Anilowski, who fires towards net. Tipped to the corner by Davies. Walters battles for it, gets the puck, though. Back up to Anilowski in the high slot. He can't corral it. Big scrum. Puck kicks out to Pekka in a one-on-one with Nick Sealer. Pekka on the right side, coming in on Sealer. Makes a move on net. And an unbelievable goal by Matthew Pekka. What a move to get around Sealer and then roof it over Stellaris' glove side, and we have a 2-0 lead here for the Bobcats with 16:22 to go in the first period.
Great move by Matthew Pekka going outside on the right, then leaning his shoulder in to protect the puck, cutting right in front of the net, and just roofing that puck. It's a great job by Pekka, using his speed to his advantage to get around the defenseman there.
He continues to impress me.
He does.
One-on-one moves. He absolutely made an unbelievable dangle on Sealer, and then got Stellaris to go down and just picked his spot beautifully, and we have a 2-0 lead already. Draw one back to Young of Nebraska Omaha. Kicked into the defensive zone for the Bobcats, where St. Denis clears it down the ice. And the icing is waved off, but Tony Churzon gets back for the Mavericks, takes a big hit from Kellen Jones. Puck works his way up to the neutral zone where Connor Jones has it. Tries to dump it in. Knocked off his skates by Brian O'Rourke. Takes a good bump from Michael Young. Puck kicks into the defensive zone where Tanner Lane takes it. Kicks it up in the neutral zone. Puck squirts into the Bobcats' end where Federico corrals it. Kellen Jones has it now. Comes near side with it to Connor Jones. Connor Jones gets over the red line. Dumps it in deep. St. Denis chasing. Pressure on Magna. Magna kicks it up the sideboards to Cooper. Cooper floats it out the neutral zone. They're taking a big hit from St. Denis. Curry gloves it down. Gets a good shot in on Stellaris, who makes a pad blocker save. Kicks it over the near side. JST on that sideboard. The first goal of this game already. Ben Arndt giving pressure behind the net to Magna. Van Braben with another big hit. Puck kicks out to Lauren Barron, who takes a big shot on the net. And Stellaris makes the save, kicks it up into the net. We have a stoppage. 4 minutes and 39 seconds in this game, and the Bobcats with a 2-0 lead.
I have to say, they're looking like they don't want to back down. And looks like the University of Nebraska Omaha is already going to call a timeout.
Well, on the scoreboard it says 7 shots on goal to none for Nebraska Omaha. They did have one good chance where you could have possibly set a shot on goal, but no one could really get a stick on the puck in the offensive zone for them. And we talked about Dean Blaze as a coach. This is a moment as a coach where you got a team on the road. You got to find a way to get your team to settle down a little bit. It's only a 2-goal game, which growing up watching hockey, that's the toughest lead to maintain in this sport, because with 1 goal, they're right back in this.
Exactly.
They just haven't gotten these shots on net yet to really test Hartsel. But on the other side of the ice, the Bobcats are showing that they're going to take shots from wherever, and they've got 2 great goals from Jordan Samuels-Thomas and Matthew Pekka already.
Definitely, yeah. No, I think by Coach Blaze this is a good move. You see a lot of NHL coaches will do this too, like John Tortorella, for example. Got to get the team just fired up. Slow start. I'm sure play a little bit differently now. So we see a face-off in the offensive zone for the Bobcats.
Yeah, between Ben Arndt and Matt White. Matt White wins it back for the Mavericks. Anilowski has it there, kicks it up the sideboards to Searfoss. Sealer has it now in his defensive zone. Goes D to D with his partner Anilowski. Anilowski moves it up to Matt White. Matt White didn't see it. Goes through his skates to St. Thomas in the offense in the neutral zone. But Robenheimer then gets it though and kicks it in on net, and Hartsel covers it up. That could go as a shot on net, but it was more just a dump in where Hartsel got his glove on the puck and covered it up. The puck was going wide of the net.
It'll still count as a good opportunity. Getting an offensive zone faceoff is always a good setup to start something. It's still early in the game. 14:56 here left in the first. Anything can happen.
Yeah, Charlie Adams up against Matthew Pekka on the faceoff. Pekka wins it straight back. Federico has it, goes D to D with Dalhusen. Dalhusen goes back to Federico. Federico behind his own net with pressure from Gwitt. Moves it up to Harvey in the neutral zone. Harvey tries to find Langlois in the neutral zone, but Young gloves it down. I think they said hand pass there, but we're going to have a neutral zone face-off on our near side. Once again, this is between Brent Gwitt and Jeremy Langlois. Langlois wins it back to Dalhusen. Dalhusen moves up in the neutral zone where he finds Langlois. Langlois dumps it in deep, puts a hit on Turgeon and knocks him over. Pekka puts pressure on his defensive partner, Young. Young, though, moves it up to Adams. Adams puts it by Federico, and Gwitt races the puck in the neutral zone, battling hard with it, and then a big hit by Dalhusen right inside the Quinnipiac defensive zone, and the puck squirts up in the neutral zone. Federico corrals in the neutral zone and dumps in deep behind Stellaris, where Young is back to pick it up. He looks far side to find Walters at the far blue line, but he can't corral the puck, where Connor Jones takes in, kicks up in the neutral zone. Young now has the puck again in the neutral zone, but his puck is picked by Kellen Jones. Kellen Jones moves the puck for his brother, who fired a shot off of Schuster's pads. A nice block there. Puck kicks up in the neutral zone where Walters had to put it in deep. Glove down by Curry. Curry moves it over. Connor Jones now has it in the neutral zone. Little scrum there. Puck kicks up down into the Nebraska zone where Magna has it. Goes over to Walters. Back over to Magna, right in front of his own net. Goes to his partner Schuster. Finds Walters in the neutral zone, who finds Archibald. They move the puck in. Archibald goes back to Walters, tries to get a shot off, but a good stick by Kellen Jones. Schuster now has it at the point, goes back to his Magna. Magna puts a shot on net, but Hartzell's there with the blocker. Kellen Jones now coming out of his defensive zone with Walters right on his tip. And Magna up in his grill also. Puck squirts back behind the Nebraska net where Schuster kicks it up to Walters at the neutral zone. Puck floats into the Bobcat zone where Tokinen moves up quickly to Van Brabant, but this puck goes down to the far end. No icing called. Brian O'Rourke picks it up in his own zone. Finds a streaking Brian Cooper out of his zone, but the puck is just off his stick and goes for offsides against the Mavericks.
Back and forth play now since the timeout. University of Nebraska Omaha's looking a lot better. 12:57 left here in the first. You're going to see a lot more physical play. I mean, the amount of hits been thrown already. You're going to need some ice bags after this game, let alone this whole weekend if it keeps up tomorrow.
Yeah. Draw one back by O'Rourke to Sealer. Sealer dumps it in deep, wraps around the far side where Lane battles with Bowie. Bowie gives to Davies. Davies over to Tokinen. Tokinen fires it up the middle to where no one's home. Goes all the way out to the neutral zone where Anilowski takes it. Over to Brian O'Rourke. O'Rourke puts a big hit on Tokinen, but Tokinen stands up. Alex Barron now moves it back through the neutral zone. Puck slides all the way down into the Omaha zone, but they called an icing. The puck hadn't even reached the goal line yet. Did you see that?
Yeah,
it was a good 3 or 4
Oh, they're
feet
calling
from
a
the goal
penalty.
line.
Someone just got a roughing call.
That might have been on the hit that Tolkien took as the hands were to the face.
Yes,
and I haven't seen anyone go to the box yet. Oh, no, here comes Brian O'Rourke for Nebraska Omaha, and the Bobcats head to the power play. Their 75th power play of the season. They got 10 goals, and we can see what they do in their first power play of the game now. Draw, one to the side by Langlois. St. Dennis Biles there. Puck comes around to Searfoss. Searfoss over to Robenheimer. They break it out of the zone. Robenheimer moving into the Bobcat zone with Federico on his hip. Wraps all the way around the net to the far side. Puck comes all the way back up into the neutral zone where Michael Young takes it. Goes over to Anilowski. Anilowski dumps it in deep behind Hartzell. Dow Houston back to get the puck. Robenheimer on him, though. Puts a good hit on him. Puck wraps back around to Federico. Federico moves it up to St. Dennis. St. Dennis through the middle. No one home as Langlois and Jordan St. Thomas had a little bit of a miscommunication there. And the puck goes all the way over to Young's stick, and Young clears it back down the ice again. No chances yet on the power play, but Federico looking to set things up behind the Bobcats net, where he's pressured by Matt White, one of the captains of the Mavericks. Dow Houston working it through the neutral zone. Dumps it in deep. Right on Stolar's zone. Stolar's gloves it, and gets a whistle.
Nebraska Omaha is a very aggressive penalty kill, sending one guy in deep when the Bobcats have to regroup. I like the strategy. You got to be careful. You never know. You lose one guy, Quinnipiac basically will get a 5-on-3 down the offensive zone for a few seconds. Good chance to score.
Connor Jones versus Brent Gwitt at the faceoff. Ref delays for a second, then ups the puck. Gwitt wins it back, but Alex Barron gets the puck first. Puck comes out of the zone with Kellen Jones playing the point. Brent Quint races down to get the puck first behind the net. Finds Matt White in the slot, who shoots it off the crossbar. Hartzell got beat there. Bad on that one. A good chance for Omaha on the short-handed attack. Pekka moves it back into the offensive zone now. Tries to find Kellen Jones on the far side. Pass gets knocked down. He's down the neutral zone again. And Connor Jones gets taken out just inside the Omaha zone. No interference call, but the puck wasn't even close to him. Puck comes back down into the defensive zone for the Bobcats, where Zomba puts it on net. Steered to the side by Hartzell. Tolkinen puts it behind the net, where Kellen Jones takes it. Kellen Jones makes the move, and he's got a lot of space right now. Bobcats trying to regroup on this power play. He works his way through the neutral zone, hands it off to Pekka. Pekka dumps it in deep. Nope, doesn't get in deep. Kellen Jones now in the neutral zone. He dumps it in deep. Michael Young back to play it for the Mavericks. Naps it around, looking for Archibald. Archibald not there. Van Brabant comes flying in, takes the hit, but stays on his feet. Langlois shoots one behind the net, looking for Van Brabant. Van Brabant battles with Turgeon back there. Puck comes into the near side corner, but Langlois gets it. Finds Davies at the point. Davies puts a shot on that, finds its way through Turgeon's skate and just past Stolarz, but far of the post. Sambo in the corner, works it up to Walters. Walters over to Archibald. Archibald looks a little bit gassed on that penalty kill. Dumps it in deep into the Bobcat zone. Laps all around to Walters, who takes a big hit there from Langlois. Puck comes through the neutral zone over to Davies. Davies finds Langlois, who tips it in deep. Jordan Samos on forechecking against Sealer. Samuels-Thomas gets a big hit from Sealer. Goes down to one knee for a second there. JST puts it back into the corner where Ben Art is. JST dips in deeper. Anilowski works up the boards to Adams. Adams has it there, looking for a streaking Walters. Puts it just out of his reach, where Tolkien is able to get to it first in the defensive zone. Tolkien in front of his own net. Finds Bowie up the side. Oh, just off Bowie's stick. And Bowie moves, gets it back for a second in the neutral zone, but can't control. Gets onto Federico's stick, who dumps it in deep. Wraps all the way around to Rollheiser, who kicks in behind the net, where he has pressure on Anilowski. Steeler wraps it around to Polk. Polk puts it up in the neutral zone. Lauren Barron can't find it. Squirts out to Connor Jones. Rollheiser has it again. Tries to put it in deep. Can't do that. Anilowski picks it off. Puck scrums into the neutral zone, where St. Denis tries to bring it in. Left it for Rollheiser, but Rollheiser wasn't expecting that. Loses an edge for a second there. Davies now has it in the neutral zone. Gets hooked down. No call again there. That's really starting to let them play a little bit. D-to-D between Magna and Schuster in their own zone. Magna, the 6'8" defenseman, works in the offensive zone. Gets a good chance with a give and go with Charlie Adams, but shoots the puck just wide. Magna has it at the point again. Puts a shot on, blocked by Davies. Kellen Jones hands it off to Harvey. Harvey finds Kellen Jones, who shoots it over to Connor Jones, just entering into the offensive zone. Connor looks a little bit gassed, tries to knock it in deep and gets a change. Clay Harvey putting pressure on now. But the puck comes out to Brian Cooper on the far side. Brian Cooper dumps it in deep, where Tanner Lane is able to get to the puck first as he outraces Danny Federico. Federico, good pressure on him, though. Puck squirts up to Pekka on the near side. Pekka tries to clear it out where it's blocked down, but we get the puck right back and shoots it up neutral zone to Clay Harvey, but the puck goes just off his stick and onto Tony Turgeon's stick. Omaha goes D-to-D a few times, and Michael Young dumps it in deep. Puck wraps all the way around to Mike Dow-Houston, who takes it back behind the net. Gets a little bit of a hit from Matt White. Goes D-to-D with Federico. Tries to clear it with a good stick by Robenheimer. Puck floats out to the neutral zone, where Pekka brings it in to the Mavericks' end. Puck wraps all the way around to Searfoss, who goes back to his defenseman, Michael Young, puts a good stick handle past Langlois, and then dumps it in deep back into the Bobcat zone. Lauren Barron back to play it. Makes the move to get by Matt White. Goes D-to-D with Tolkinen, who works it up to Rollheiser, who takes a big hit from Robenheimer. Lauren Barron now has it, entering an offensive zone, shoots on net, and it goes just wide. Puck kicks back down behind the net where Alex Barron takes it, gets knocked off his skates by Steeler. Steeler knocks it up the boards to Robenheimer. Robenheimer tries to hammer it out. Puck squirts just to Tolkinen, who fires it back on net just high. Back behind the net, Steeler has it again, and over to Anilowski. Tries to get up to Robenheimer. Robenheimer tries to tip it by Jordan Samuels-Thomas, but JST is able to keep it in, and then after a little bit of a deflection, the puck kicks up into the stands. Good action at going back and forth down the ice there. 7 minutes to go in the first period. 2-0 Bobcats lead.
Seeing a lot more aggressive play from the UNO offense. Defense, they're a lot, intimidating. They have a bunch of tall players. Quinnipiac needs to keep playing, maybe play a little bit more defensively since they do have a lead. Protect Eric Hartzell.
Yeah, great back and forth game there. I think I talked for like 8 minutes straight as both teams continue to put chances on there. And a great chance for Matt White, it was, of Nebraska Omaha, who put a shot past Hartzell, but it hit the crossbar. Lucky for Hartzell on that one, he got beat on that shorthanded chance. Puck behind the net, but Quinnipiac net, where Ryan Walters has it, the second leading scorer in the nation with 26 points. Cycling with his line mates, Zombo and Archibald. Archibald battling with Dow Husema on the net. Puck squirts to the far side where Zombo races for it. Puck squirts past all the way out into the neutral zone, past Magna, who was tangled up with Jordan Samuels-Thomas. Puck gets knocked back into the Quinnipiac zone by Zombo, where it's worked out quickly by Davies to Arndt and then back down into the Maverick zone. Magna back to play it. Looks for Archibald, passing his skates, but he kicks it forward to himself. Back to Magna behind his own goal line. Over to his deep under Schuster. Shoots it towards the Mavericks bench, and there were 6 guys on the ice for a second there, but they got one off. Magna now back behind his own net. Almost turns the puck over in front there. Puck squirts out to Gwitt, who moves it through the neutral zone and back into the Bobcat zone. Puts a backhander on net where Hartzell fumbled with it for a second, but it kicked off into the corner. Another good chance there for the Mavericks. Gwitt knocks the puck back into the Bobcat zone again, where Tolkinen plays it up to his deep partner Federico, who cycles it to Kellen Jones. Back over to Federico, up to St. Denis, who knocks it in deep behind the Mavericks net, where Michael Young picks it up, knocks it up to Turgeon. And the puck is played down with a high stick by the Bobcats as Turgeon was trying to play it through the neutral zone, try to flop it up into the neutral zone there.
I tell you, Dean Blaze's conditioning program very evident. You can really see it in the UNO players. You see a lot of teams might be a little bit gassed towards the end of the first. They keep going.
Yeah, since that timeout, they have a different set of legs going. They produce a lot more chances, and you can see them moving the puck into their offensive zone pretty well. Shot on net there by Lauren Barron is blocked down by Michael Young. Puck picked up in the middle by Brian O'Rourke, who works it out to his line mate Tanner Lane, who takes a big hit from Zach Davies right in front of the Bobcats bench. Puck goes behind the Bobcats net where Lauren Barron picks it up, works to the middle, finds Pekka. Pekka streaking down the left side, is able to dump it in just past Stellaris, takes the bump from Brian Cooper on the way. Clay Harvey there with pressure on Michael Young. Picks up the puck in the far corner, that's Harvey. Tries to fire it into the middle, looking for Langlois, so the puck kicks out to the point where Federico is able to keep the puck in the zone, knock it in deep, but it's worked quickly back out by Tanner Lane and Brian Cooper. Cooper gets knocked down in the neutral zone by Alex Barron. Now Barron forechecks in his offensive zone where Anilowski has the puck, trying to work it out. Backhands one through the neutral zone. Puck squirts all the way to Dalhousen's stick, where he finds Alex Barron with some space in the neutral zone, tried to make a move there, but lost the puck out of his stick due to Anilowski's pressure. Anilowski kicks up the boards, where he finds O'Rourke, who looks far side, finds Robenheimer. Robenheimer finds Matt White. Matt White puts a shot right into the Bobcats logo on Eric Hartzell's chest, and Hartzell covers for a face-off. 4:16 to go in the period. Bobcats with a 2-0 lead.
So Bobcats seem like they're sitting back a little bit. You know, it's understandable that maybe they see the UNO players playing with, I guess, a sense of urgency now. Maybe play a little more defensively, and maybe Brian Pecknold said something about that.
Yeah, good job by Hartzell that cutting off the angle. Shows that one shot that beat him over the crossbar, didn't really rattle him too much. Puck quickly goes down all the way down the far end for an icing, where a little bit of a bump between Van Braben and Schuster. Van Braben, pretty big himself, 6'2", but Schuster's a giant at 6'7", and those two tangle up for a second after the whistle. 4:08 to go in the period. Face-off going to be to Eric Hartzell's left, our near side in the Bobcats' end.
Eric Hartzell looking very good from this game, despite that one shot that beat him off the crossbar. Yep. You know, playing strong. And it's good to see the Bobcats really didn't. It doesn't look like they missed too much of a beat since the break. Very good sign so far.
Yeah. Matt White squares off against Ben Art in the faceoff. Tangle up. Puck squares out to the defense where Magna shoots it on net. Hartzell didn't even see that one, but it goes wide right. Comes all around to Robenheimer, who fires it off of Van Braben's leg pad. Puck comes up through the neutral zone on JST's stick. He knocks it in deep, where Van Braben puts a big hit on Schuster. That little after the whistle scrum before must have sparked a little talk between the two of them as Van Braben knocks the 6'7" defenseman down. Robenheimer tries to put a big hit on Tolkinen in the defensive zone, but misses and crashes into the boards, but he looks like he's okay. Puck gets shot in back on Hartzell, who knocks it over to Tolkinen, who corrals it behind the net. 3:32 to go in the period. Well, Bobcats with a 2-0 lead. Pressure from Archibald causes Tolkinen to turn it over, and the puck wraps back around the net, where Lauren Barron picks it up with pressure from Ryan Walters. Comes back over to the near side, where St. Denis puts it back behind the net again. Lauren Barron tries to clear it up the side where Kellen Jones is. Jones collides with Turgeon, and the puck squirts out in the neutral zone, where Josh Archibald picks it up for the Mavericks. He drops it off to his defenseman Michael Young. Back up to Archibald in his defensive zone. Works it up to Zombo. Zombo brings it in the offensive zone with pressure from Lauren Barron. A little bit of a turnover there. Puck squirts all the way back out in the neutral zone where Young picks it up, then dumps it in deep. Hartzell back to play it. Stops the puck right behind his net, where Lauren Barron picks it up. Works it up the boards to St. Denis. St. Denis can't get a stick on it, though, and it squirts all the way up to Anilowski in the neutral zone. Anilowski has it back again. Passes up to Walters. Walters makes a move and skates around in a little bit of a circle in the neutral zone there for a second, and then finds Charlie Adams, who puts it in deep behind Hartzell. Hartzell goes to play it for a second and decided better not to. Clay Harvey picks it up, puts it behind the net to Tolkinen. Tolkinen flips it up deep. Looks like this one's going straight in on Stellaris, and it's going just to the left of him for an icing as Anilowski tosses up. And we have another face-off in the Bobcat zone with 2:24 to go in the period.
Ben Arndt blocked a shot earlier from the UNO point, immediately went to the bench holding onto his leg, but he is sitting on the bench. Looks like he's all right. He'll be back out probably in the second period, if not out before the end of this period.
Face-off on the far side. Hartzell's right between Brent Gwitt, the captain of the Mavericks, and Jeremy Langlois. Gwitt wins it straight back to Sealer, but it looks like Langlois got right off the face-off, put some pressure on Sealer, so he couldn't get a shot off, but the puck kicks down behind the net of the Bobcats net where Lauren Barron picks it up and works it up the middle. Tries to find Pekka on the far side, but a good stick there from Gwit, and the puck squirts to Steeler behind the net. Steeler tries to work it up the boards to Gwit. Gwit gets the puck now again in the neutral zone, goes through his skates. Puck corrals around a little bit, then ends up a Mike Dalhusen stick in his own defensive zone. Goes D-to-D with Davies. Davies gets to the red line and dumps it in deep, where Schuster's back to pick it up. Takes a little bit of a bump from Langlois. Puck squirts around to Steeler on the far side. Gets to the red line, tries to pass it over to Matt White. Puck gets tangled up a little bit there. And Jordan Samuels Thomas ends up going down with a stick from Schuster. More of a little bit of a dive, I'd say, on that one. But the puck ends up on Alex Barron's stick now, entering offensive zone. He fires on net, and the puck hits Stolars in the chest, and then kicks out right in front of him, whereas defenseman Schuster's there to pick it up, though. Works up the boards where he's looking for Matt White. Put a good hit on by Dalhusen, who moves it over to Samuels Thomas, who moves in the zone. Shoots far side, and it goes just wide of Stolars. Puck comes all the way out to the neutral zone where Van Braben picks it up. Kicks up the boards to Alex Barron, who puts it in deep. Back to play it is Schuster. Minute 5 to go in the period. Bobcats lead this game 2-0 in the first period. Schuster skates up the middle, turns around with a little bit of pressure from Alex Barron, finds Matt White in the middle. Matt White turns and finds it to Searfoss. Searfoss tries to fire on net. Good stick there by Lauren Barron. Puck comes all the way around to Archibald in the near corner, where Federico is able to get it from him. Federico moves it up to Connor Jones in neutral zone. 2-on-2 with Kevin Bowie. Jones shoots, and it kicks up high into the stands. Wow, that went over the entire net and off the back wall, it looked like. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Came off the back wall, and then a fan caught that with an unbelievable catch right over the shoulder.
Almost like a field goal.
Yeah. 40.9 seconds to go. They said that Connor Jones shot was deflected by a Maverick stick, so the faceoff will be to Stolars' right between Connor Jones and I can't see the number on the player. Oh, it's Ryan Walters. Ryan Walters wins it back to Michael Young. Michael Young has it behind his net, skates off to our near side. Young has it there, moves it up the boards, looking for Walters, picked off by Kellen Jones. Kellen Jones finds St. Dennis in the middle, makes the move. St. Dennis on his own. Oh, and the puck gets knocked off his stick there by a good pressure from Young. Young got back checking well. St. Dennis had a little bit of a slight breakaway in the offensive zone there. Puck squirts all the way back down into the Bobcats' end, where Kellen Jones moves it around the boards for St. Dennis. St. Dennis flips it up high, where it goes over Young's head. And Connor Jones with a one-on-one on the big Jacob Magna goes down the boards there. Puck squirts around a little bit. Davies bats it in behind the net. And the clock runs out at the end of the first period. Bobcats with a 2-0 lead with goals from Jordan Samus Thomas and Matthew Pekka. On the scoreboard, it reads right now 10 shots for Quinnipiac and 6 for Nebraska Omaha. We're going to take a quick break here on the Qbsn, and we'll be back for an intermission breakdown with my color guy, Rob. Hello and welcome back to the High Point Solutions Arena. We are currently in the first intermission of the game between the Quinnipiac University men's ice hockey Bobcats and the University of Nebraska Omaha Mavericks. Bobcats with a 2-0 lead. Goals from Jordan Samus Thomas and Matthew Pekka. So I bring back my color guy now, Rob. What impressed you this past period from the Bobcats?
Well, the quick start, Jordan Samuels Thomas just coming right in, positioning himself perfectly in front of the net for the tip, and then Travis St. Dennis just coming right back to answer, get a second goal for them.
You mean Matthew Pekka?
Matthew Pekka,
yeah,
sorry.
That was good.
It's just a great start by the Bobcats. They're trying to show they're not going to back down the second half. They want to keep the great season going. Unlike the past few seasons we've seen. Coach Dean Blaze of UNO calls a timeout. Game has a completely different perspective now. They're coming out a little bit with more intensity. Bobcats sitting back on their heels just a little bit. It's luckily still holding the lead.
Yeah, I know. You just mentioned before how the Bobcats have kind of had a few in the years past. They've come back from the winter break and they haven't played that well. My freshman year, 3 years ago now, they were number 4 in the nation at one point. What do you think the difference is? You're a hockey junkie. You've been following this team for a while. Do you see any difference between this team and that team, that 09-10 team that was number 4 in the nation and then just fell off? Do you see any differences?
A little bit. Maybe the style of play. I don't know if I see too much of a difference. They look like the same aggressive teams in general. Nationally ranked. They need to defend who they are. They need to stay looking the same team. Try to beat as many teams as they can to keep themselves going. If that makes any sense.
It makes sense in the sense that they have a 10-game unbeaten streak right now. They're 9-0-1. They've played very well. They beat some good teams on that time. When they beat Union, they beat Cornell. But in a sense, they really haven't played too many top teams that you could say. They've played teams like Princeton. They've played teams like RPI. This weekend they face Nebraska-Omaha twice. Next weekend they have Dartmouth coming in. Dartmouth is, I don't know exactly their rank right now in the national ranks. I think it's like 15 or so. They're second in the ECAC. And the day after Dartmouth is Harvard. And Harvard is number 20 in the national polls. Then they got Union coming back here. So it's not going to get any easier of a schedule for the Bobcats as the season goes on. But you want to see if they can maintain this pace that they've been on to start the year.
Exactly. It's going to be tough because there's other teams like, for example, Yale on January 4th, I think it is. They're going to go up to face Boston College. Boston College, I think they're first in the nation right now or second.
Yeah, Boston College is 11-2-1, and they are just so steady like they always are.
Yeah, the Bobcats aren't going to face them this year. It's kind of weird. That's a team that they might see in the NCAA tournament. It's almost a no-brainer that they might, depending on where the final pairwise rankings fall.
And that's what's going to be key is what comes down to the NCAA tournament. This team right now, obviously, we don't know if they can maintain this pace where they're at 8-0-0 in the ECAC play. They have a 12-3-2 record with obviously a couple of tough losses to AIC and Robert Morris in there. And if they were somehow able to maintain this pace the rest of the season, they'd be a top seed possibly. But as of right now, if the playoffs started tomorrow, I could see this team being like a 2 or a 3 seed in that tournament. And what it comes down to now is what this team can do in the second half of the season, and if they get hot at the right time. That's the big key also, because if this team isn't able to play that well in the second half of the season and they get knocked out quickly in the ECAC playoffs, there's a chance they don't get in that large bid. So I look at this stretch right now, beginning with this Nebraska-Omaha series, as a big momentum builder. They're trying to build their momentum up the whole second half of the season until the playoffs begin. Yeah. Because that's when it gets to be the toughest time, obviously.
Exactly. And after this game, they only have one more non-conference game that comes January 22nd, a home game against UConn. Then it's all ECAC conference play from there. Obviously, there's a bunch of... I think the ECAC conference has the most teams that are nationally ranked this year in the top 20. But, it's still ECAC conference. Not going to face a bunch of other teams. Like I said, it's just UConn after this. Then they need to focus on division. And then the NCAA's, winning games there because that's what's going to matter the most,
and,
top seed in their division.
We mentioned it before. It's crazy to think about. You might sound ridiculous. This is a potential NCAA tournament matchup.
It is.
It really could be. And the thing is, what happens in tonight's game obviously won't matter in terms of what happens in that. But this is a big measuring stick for both teams, not just the Bobcats, so that they can see how they do against top teams from other conferences. The Western Collegiate Hockey Association, which is where Nebraska comes from, is a great conference. They got top teams like Minnesota Duluth in there, teams that have won national titles. The coach of Minnesota, Don Lucia, has won 600 games to go right with Dean Blaze. So this is a great measuring stick for the Bobcats to see how they measure up against teams that they could face down the road in the NCAA tournament.
No doubt. To go off what you just said, a couple of years ago when the East Regionals were held for 2 years in a row down at the Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport, I saw Yale play Air Force and Minnesota Duluth. Minnesota Duluth just was absolutely just on fire that whole series.
Yep.
Air Force, obviously in a lower ranked, they had a lot of conditioning under them. That's why they played so well against Yale going to overtime. But you see every team, the regionals could bring UNO back to the East Regional against Quinnipiac, or Quinnipiac could go somewhere out in the West. You never know.
And this is why I love college hockey. I'm a big hockey guy. I've been playing my entire life. Obviously don't play now, but grew up playing and followed the NHL pretty closely. But with no season, the college hockey, the league this year, the whole nation has been so much fun to watch because you have to bring it every single night. And we've seen that it doesn't matter who you're playing or who you are. Anybody can beat anybody. This Quinnipiac team has beat teams like Cornell, teams like Union, but they've lost to teams like ASC and Robert Morris. So it's the parity across the nation. It's just been so great to watch, and it's going to be even better as the season comes to an end and you get to the NCAA tournament, because as opposed to college basketball, I say there's a lot more great teams as there are in college basketball. So that 16-team field will just be top to bottom stellar, and it's gonna be great to see what happens as the season goes along. And this is Neil Ravin once again with Rob Ciambro. We're in the first intermission right now between the Bobcats and the Mavericks from Nebraska-Omaha. Bobcats with a 2-0 lead. This is the Quinnipiac Bobcat Sports Network, known here as the Qbsn. 3 minutes until the second period action begins. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you for the second period. Don't go away. And welcome back to the High Point Solutions Arena for Quinnipiac Bobcats men's ice hockey against the University of Nebraska Omaha Mavericks. A minute to go until the second period begins. The referees just took the ice. And we got some awesome information from the Quinnipiac Sports Info next to us. In the building today, Paul Holmgren and Mark Messier. Right to my left, I can see Mark Messier sitting right down there next to the yellow sign. And also, there are some NHL scouts here. I saw a few guys wearing Ducks logos earlier because Brian Cooper and Jacob Magna are two Ducks prospects on the University of Nebraska. And I'm sure they're also here to look at a few other players. Maybe an Eric Hartzell, maybe a Connor Jones. But for a end of December winter break game, we got a great crowd here on hand as more fans continue to keep filing in. And I would venture to say now there must be around, I'd say 2,000 fans, maybe, Rob, in this building. And for the students not being in session right now, school not being in session, we got a great crowd here. And with action set to begin in the second period, it's going to be a great game the rest of the way.
No doubt about that. It's a great crowd. A lot more, to be honest with you, it's a lot more than I expected. Great, you have a snowstorm coming in. I'm actually a little surprised as well, but you know what? Everyone wants to see some hockey, especially no NHL. Really tough. No football, I don't think, today. Maybe, is there a game tonight? I don't know if there is.
No, but snowstorm just means you gotta love hockey. I came back from Maine the other day. We got over a foot of snow in Maine. You don't hate the snow. I love the snow.
I love it.
But quick note, first period shots were 8-6, Quinnipiac. Scoreboard reads 10-6, but from Sports Info, we got 8-6 total in favor of the Bobcats. And the second period is underway. Puck comes back to Danny Federico, who dumps it in deep behind Stolares. Wraps all the way around to our near side where Pekka knocks it up. Gets the puck looking for Dal Houston. Knocked off his stick by Walters. Puck comes through the middle where Federico puts a good hit on Archibald. And the puck goes around to the far side. Wraps all the way back around the net where Archibald back on his feet. Puts a check into Harvey. Harvey knocks it over, but it gets on his Zombo stick. Zombo looks for Archibald. Archibald on the doorstep tries to back it down on Hartzell. Hartzell hugs that post well, and the puck squirts behind the net. But Houston gets it and loses an edge, and Archibald goes flying over him. Puck comes down into the Nebraska zone, where it's cleared out quickly by Schuster. Puck then ends up hitting the net in the Nebraska zone when it was fired in by looked like Federico, and the face-off's going to come outside of the in the neutral zone. And we want to make a quick note. We apologize for the commercials right now from the Qbsn. A little bit different. We only have myself and Rob in the booth. We usually have a field producer up here, but with school not in session and stuff, we're the only two guys in the Hampton, I think, right now. So we're working on it, though, with those technical difficulties. Sealer back to play it. Kicks up the boards to where Kellen Jones takes it away. Robenheimer coming through the neutral zone. Passes it far side to Searfoss. Searfoss works it in. Fires on net where Hartzell tries to glove it down. Puck squirts to the corner. Picked up there by Davies. Davies gives it off to Connor Jones, who skates to the neutral zone. Tries to fire it in. Knocked down by Sealer. Kellen Jones then brings it behind the net. Kellen Jones tries to pass it up to Alex Bannon. Oh, and the puck squirts loose to Matt White on a breakaway. Matt White makes a move, and wow! Puts it through the 5-hole of Eric Hartzell. And this game is a brand new hockey game, 2-1. The puck was in the offensive zone for the Bobcats, in the Nebraska zone, squirted through the legs of, I believe, Tolkinen in the high neutral zone, where Matt White picked it up, went in all alone on Hartzell, made a quick move with his left, worked back to his right, got Hartzell to open up his pass, put it straight to the 5-hole. We got a 2-1 hockey game, a brand new hockey game here in Hampden.
A lot of speed on that breakaway. No chance at catching him. I don't think anyone would have been able to. Nice move on Hartzell as well.
Yeah, you made a quick note there. I've been trying to shy away from those guys that go in slow on breakaways. Matt White went in there with a lot of speed on Hartzell and caught Hartzell, I think, a little bit off guard. Tony Turgeon now, defenseman for the Mavericks, has a puck behind his own net. Pressure from Arndt. Passes over to his D partner, Young. Young works it up to Adams. Adams back over to Turgeon. Turgeon goes back behind his own net again. Takes a hit from Van Braben. Van Braben really has been throwing his body around a lot this game. Puck squirts off the boards back to our near side. Van Braben gets another hit in on Turgeon. Tries to push him into the Bobcats bench. But Turgeon maintains his feet. Puck back down in the Bobcat zone where Taylor Lane tries to find a streaking O'Rourke in the slot, but O'Rourke can't get there. Puck squirts back out to the neutral zone, and then over to Federico. Federico tries to move the puck to the red line where he gets pressure from Brian Cooper. Puck goes down into the Maverick zone where Michael Young has it. Young tries to find Cooper. Cooper gets a stick on it and knocks it in deep behind the Bobcats net where Federico was there to pick it up. 17:35 to go in the second period. 2-1 hockey game here in Hamden. Puck goes through the neutral zone trying to find St. Denis, but it's going to go all the way down for an icing. Looked like it was Federico there trying to find St. Denis in the middle. Had a little bit of space, but went through his legs and all the way down to the far end. Face off to Hartzell's left between St. Denis and Brent Gwitt. Gwitt turns around and says something to his big defenseman Magna. St. Denis wins the puck into the corner. Federico knocks it along the boards. Comes up to Rollheiser. Rollheiser banks it off the boards to St. Denis. St. Denis putting pressure on the defenseman. Worked out by Schuster into the offensive zone. Gloved down by Hartzell. Puck kicks back up all the way down to the far end for another icing. Looked like shot down by Rollheiser there. Looks like also Pecknold is mixing up his lines a little bit. He now has St. Denis on the line, centering Rollheiser and Bowie. So it'll be interesting to see who goes back out with Connor and Kellen Jones if they bring that tandem of Connor Jones, Kellen Jones, and Matthew Pekka back. Draw one straight back by Gwitt, but no one home as it goes by Megna and Schuster. A little bit of miscommunication there. They go D-to-D in their own zone. Puck knocked down by Rollheiser. Rollheiser gets bumped off the puck there by James Polk. Works behind the net. Comes all the way up to Alex Barron at the point. Fans on the shot. Tries to dump it in after that. Hits off of St. Denis. Puck comes back out of neutral zone where Gwitt gets it and gets by Alex Barron. Tries to find Adams in the slot, but it's knocked down. Puck then fired again through the slot. Goes all the way up to the point where Sealer has it. Sealer puts it on net. Tangled up in front. Langlois knocks up the Bowie. Bowie back to Langlois, and Langlois is out in the neutral zone. 1-on-2. Gets bumped off the puck there by Sealer. Sealer goes flying. Langlois then picks up the puck in the corner. Tries to find his line mate, Clay Harvey, in the middle, but knocked away by Anilowski. Puck now on Walter's stick in the neutral zone. Walters works it up to Zombo. Delayed offsides. They haven't blown the whistle yet, but Lauren Barron in the zone. Tries to find Langlois. Takes a big hit from Ryan Walters. And Nick Sealer now in his own zone. Passes it over to Anilowski. Anilowski works up the boards to Zombo. Zombo fans on dumping it in twice. Puck ends up over on Lauren Barron's stick on the near side. Matthew Pekka makes a move around Walters. Puck falls off his stick, though, into Sealer's grasp. Sealer moves it over to Anilowski. Anilowski working his way to the neutral zone. Gets to the red line and dumps it in. Hartzell back to play it. Stops it behind the net for Lauren Barron. Barron picks it up. Moves it up the boards, but no one home there. Puck squirts all the way out to the neutral zone where Michael Young drills it in behind the net. 4:30 into the period. A goal this period from Matt White from Nebraska Omaha makes it a 2-1 hockey game. Michael Young back behind his own net with his deep partner Tony Turgeon. Going D-to-D. Broken up by Connor Jones, though. Jones had his brother in the slot for a second, but couldn't get the pass to him. Works it in deep where Young picks it up. Young makes a move on Kellen. Kellen then picks it off. Goes to find St. Denis double in the middle, but St. Denis catches it as and falls. Tries to then find Kellen Jones, but the puck squirts out to the neutral zone where Federico dumps it in deep. Tony Turgeon picks it up there. Passes it off the boards to his D partner, Michael Young, who works up the Searfoss, and then over to Matt White, streaking in the zone. Matt White makes a move, loses control of the puck. A good stick from Kellen. Danny Federico works it up the boards, but gloved down by Michael Young. Looked kind of like the shortstop Michael Young there, jumping up and knocking that one down. Puck squirts all the way up to neutral zone. Now Ben Arndt on Jacob Magna one-on-one. Shoots in a good glove there by Stellars. Jordan Samuels Thomas then collides on the boards with Searfoss and Young. Puck squirts out to the far side where Brabant can't get a handle on it. Lauren Barron is tangled up in the neutral zone with Tanner Lane and Brian O'Rourke. Puck then goes over to Ben Artstick in the offensive zone. And he fires from the far side and scores! It beats Stellars on the near side post, right underneath his blocker, and found a way into the back of the net. I think he was just firing on net to try and make something happen, and that's how you make something happen. Ben Arndt with the goal there. I didn't even see who got the assist. The puck went into the Nebraska zone on the far side, and Arndt just fired it on net, and Stellars looked like he kind of got caught off guard there. And the Bobcats now have a 3-1 lead, 5 minutes and 46 seconds into the period. Kevin Bowie gets the puck off the draw, dumps it in deep. Schuster moves it up to Charlie Adams. Adams gives it to Gwitt. Gwitt passes it to James Polk. A little bit of a 2-on-1 going there, but Alex Barron ties him up. Puck goes into the corner. Oh, and Gwitt finds Charlie Adams by himself on the doorstep, but Hartzell comes out, cuts down the angle well, and makes a huge save to keep this game 3-1. Puck goes up in the neutral zone where Davies fires it in on Stellaris, who gloves it down, and it looked like Megna and Schuster went D-to-D for a second there. Puck works all the way back down the Quinnipiac zone, but Houston picks it up. Houston puts it off the boards, goes past Rollheiser all the way up to Schuster. Schuster shoots it, goes into the bench, but they don't say anything. Play goes on. Harvey picks it up, moves it into the offensive zone, where Sealer takes it away from him. Goes D-to-D with Schuster, back to Sealer. Sealer makes a move to get away from Van Brabant and works it up his offensive zone. Passes it over to Zombo. Zombo gets knocked off the puck by Houston. Puck ends up on Federico's stick. Tries to go over to Harvey. Archibald beat him to the spot, though. Archibald fires it on net. Wide of Hartzell, though. Comes all the way around to Walters, who takes a big hit from Van Brabant. Walters then has the puck. Hartzell's out of position, and the net comes off. Penalty coming against Quinnipiac. The far ref has his hand up for a charge on that hit on Walters. It looked like Van Brabant took a few extra strides going into that hit, and that's what the ref is calling here. So Nebraska Omaha going on the power play. Their 67th power play of the year. They have 13 goals on the power play. Up against a pretty good Quinnipiac penalty kill, though, who've killed off 72 of their 76 penalties this year. So on the draw is Pekka versus Robenheimer. One back by Pekka. Tolkinen gets the puck taken away from there by Matt White. Finds Robenheimer in the slot. Puck knocked off his stick, though, by Langlois. Langlois loses his stick. Trying to chase it down, but it's in Robenheimer's skates. Puck goes over to Matt White by his own bench. Circles back. Finds Searfoss, who puts it in behind Hartzell, then knocks it down, gets the puck back, and shoots and scores! Hartzell went to clear the puck off the glass. Searfoss jumped 3 feet in the air, it looked like. Knocked it down, but knocked it down to himself. I don't think it was a hand pass because it kind of just deflected off his own pad. Got the puck back, fired it through Hartzell's 5-hole, and we got a 3-2 hockey game here. Great action, Rob. This is just great action so far.
Mark Messier picked a heck of a game to watch.
Yeah. That was an unbelievable individual effort by Searfoss, who put the puck in deep and then kept it in himself, got it back on his own stick, and shoots and beats Hartzell. I was watching a video the other day of their last game between the Mavericks and another team called the Mavericks, actually also Minnesota State. And Searfoss had the first goal in that game, an absolute snipe. So this kid can really shoot, and he makes us a 3-2 hockey game. We got a lot of action to go. 12 minutes left in the second period, 3-2 Quinnipiac lead. Puck comes up to Rollheiser in the neutral zone. Knocked off his stick to Turgeon. Turgeon puts it up, a little scrum in the neutral zone. Comes over to Lauren Barron, who works it up, knocked glove down by Turgeon again. Rollheiser and him collide. A little pushing and shoving after that hit. Just good love in hockey words, though. Tanner Lane now has it in the far corner in the Bobcat zone. Worked off the puck there by Davies. Rollheiser collides with Turgeon again. Puck comes up to Bowie. Then switch all the way over to Alex Barron. 2-on-1 with Ben Art. Barron jumps over for Michael Young, who is sliding at him. And Ben Art gets taken out of the play. Penalty coming against Nebraska Omaha. Tanner Lane touches. And it was a 2-on-1 for the Bobcats. It was Alex Barron working in on Turgeon. Oh, no, Michael Young, I'm sorry. With Ben Art on his far side. And it was Brian Cooper who was tangled up with Ben Art on the far side. Took him out of the play. He's getting called for an interference penalty here. And the Bobcats head on the power play. Now we get to see Nebraska Omaha just cashed in on their power play chance. Can the Bobcats cash in on their second opportunity of the game?
It's tough to, really complain about the Bobcats power play because their penalty kill has been so good despite this last one we just saw. It's tough to see what's, because they got one of the best penalty kills in the nation. It's like, well, why can't they score on the power play? It's like,
and they've gotten better, though. They have gotten better. I know at the beginning of the year, my last broadcast was the AIC broadcast, which was like the 7th game of the year or something like that, and they hadn't had a power play goal yet. So over that 6-game road trip, they did manage to put, I think it was 10 in the back of the net, including that home-and-home at Princeton. So let's see what they can do here. Kellen Jones on the point here has the puck. Works it with his brother on the far side. Lauren Barron set up in the middle. Kellen Jones tries to go all the way back over to this side to find Matthew Pekka. Broken up there, and Robenheimer has it, and he clears it all the way down the ice. And the Bobcats have to regroup. Zach Davies picks it up. Starts working out his defensive zone. Pressured by Zombo. Moves it up to Connor Jones. Connor Jones skates to the neutral zone. Collides with Lauren Barron and then Archibald. And we have offsides against the Bobcats.
Something to note, a 4-minute power play the Bobcats are getting here. I don't know.
I didn't actually see the call, but Ben Arndt didn't have the puck.
He did not.
He did not have the puck, and the puck wasn't even going towards him because Alex Barron had the puck, and he was hurtling over Michael Young,
Yes.
and the puck was in this corner on our near side. Ben Arndt was on the other side, and he collided with the boards hard, so I didn't see what the call was, but must have been pretty it was a pretty bad collision over there.
It was.
St. Denis now has it on the far side. Tangled up with Anilowski. Puck comes out to Danny Federico on the point. Works it all the way back down the zone where it comes to Jordan Samuels-Thomas, who tries to go give and go with St. Denis. Comes back up to the point. Dalhusen has it. Puts it back down behind the net where Langlois and St. Denis battle with Anilowski. Michael Young in there in to help his defenseman. Langlois tangled up a little bit. Gets it over to St. Denis. St. Denis moves it over to JST. JST tries to go back over to Langlois. Michael Young picks it off and fires it all the way down. Hartzell comes way out of his net to play it up to Dalhusen fast. They try and beat Nebraska into the zone as Nebraska got 3 of their 4 chains except for Michael Young. Puck kicks off of Magna's stick, and Langlois had a chance for a second there, but it kicked too far. Back out to Federico. Federico from the point. Fires on net. Good save by Stolares. Rebound chance, and Langlois tried to bury it home, but Stolares was able to cover the rebound. And then a tangle up in front. JST shoved. It looked like Young off of his own goalie there. I'm not really sure if you can shove your own guy off his own goalie, but JST just did that. JST is a big guy, so.
Yeah, JST, I mean, obviously not as tall maybe as some of the tall defensemen on UNL, but he really can stand up to them.
Connor Jones out in the faceoff now against Zahn Robenheimer. Wins it straight back to Davies. Davies circles. Oh, and the puck came out of the zone. And they for a second there, they hadn't called it. And they're going to bring this faceoff now all the way down. Davies circled at this high point, and it came out of the zone just by a fraction. We're right on that blue line. We got to see that one pretty clear. Puck comes the faceoff's going to come all the way down to Hartzell's left in the Bobcats' defensive zone. Connor Jones against John Robenheimer again on the faceoff. Wins it back again to Davies. Davies goes behind his own net. Then starts skating up to the neutral zone. Hands it off to Connor Jones. Connor Jones loses the puck off his stick, and Magna puts it all the way back down the Bobcats' end. Just around 2 minutes into the Bobcats' power play with 2 minutes left to go. They haven't really got too many chances so far. Davies gives it over to Barron. Barron goes through to Kellen Jones in the middle. Jones a little bit of space. Puck knocked off his stick by Schuster in the corner. Jones tries to get it back. Tangle up with Magna. Connor Jones fires it around this near side, hoping for Lauren Barron, but Lauren Barron wasn't there first as Brent Gwitt beat him to the spot. Gwitt knocks it all the way down the ice where Davies tips it forward to Pekka. Pekka knocks it over to Pekka pulls it up to the neutral zone. Hands it off to Kellen Jones. Kellen Jones puts a backhander that goes off of Stolares' blocker into the far corner. Puck comes over to Davies, who goes D to D with Kellen Jones. Back to Pekka, back to Jones. Over to Pekka. Goes over to Lauren Barron. Great passing here from the Bobcats, but the puck goes off of Davies' stick and out of the zone. Great passing. They had a good chance setting up there, but unable to finish that one. Puck ends up back down in the Bobcats end where Hartzell is able to corral it. Davies picks it up with a little bit of pressure from Matt White, who scored the first goal of this period on a beautiful breakaway move. Ben Arndt dives to keep the puck out of a shrieking Michael Young's stick. Matt White picks it up, goes over to Anilowski. Anilowski clears it into the Bobcats bench. And it looked like Jacob Myers wasn't even fazed by that. That went right over his right shoulder.
Yeah, he wasn't even, I don't think he even twitched from that. But as you were saying, the quick passing, Bobcats, it was working for a quick minute there. You know, they have a very, the amount of stamina they have from their coach's conditioning program and the aggressive penalty skill they have, it's working. They got to try to keep that up.
One back by Matt White where Schuster picks it up, tries to get out to Searfoss on the far side. Searfoss, the second goal for Nebraska this period, a great individual effort. Schuster shoots it up to the slot where Tolkien takes a big bomb off of Stolares. Stolares couldn't find it. Puck had kicked up in the air, and Langlois tried to glove it down and then put it in, but he couldn't get a handle on it with great pressure from Schuster. Puck ends up backed in on Hartzell. Hartzell clears it off the boards, comes all the way back out to the neutral zone to where Magna takes it. hands it over to Schuster. Schuster moves a couple steps into the defensive zone, takes a bump from St. Dennis, but doesn't even flinch. Goes in behind Hartzell's net, where Federico picks it up. Hands it off to Tolkinen. Tolkinen dumps it in all the way around. Solaris tries to stop it, but it can't. Gwent knocks it through Samuels Thomas. Tolkinen with a one-time blast goes just wide. St. Dennis picks it up, goes behind the net to JST. JST goes back behind the net, but Michael Young is there first. And as Young went behind the net, he knocked the post off, and play is whistled dead. Face off to Solaris' right. With 6 seconds to go on the Bobcats' man advantage, they did create a few more chances there in that final 2 minutes of this power play.
They did. It looked a lot better. Hopefully good things show a sign of good things to come for more power plays in the future.
Ben Arndt versus Zahn Robenheim on the faceoff. Puck flips all the way out into the neutral zone, where Lauren Barron picks it up, knocks it in deep. Hartzell's banging the stick as the penalty has expired, and straight out of the box comes Cooper, and he took a pass from Megna and then dumped it in deep to the Bobcat zone, where Dalhusen picks it up behind the net. Pressure from Walters. Fires all the way up to Harvey in the neutral zone. Goes through his stick to Sealer. Sealer over to Archibald. Archibald gets a step by Dalhusen and Bowie. Gets tangled up then by Bowie. Good back check. Dalhusen now has the puck. Flips it into the crowd. And are they going to call a delay of game here? I see the door opening for the Bobcats penalty box, but now it's closed. I think they're saying that they got deflected off a stick.
I think so. From something from what I learned in the last game, I don't think they call the delay of game penalty anymore in college hockey. If they did at one time, I really wish they did though. They need something from the NHL.
Oh, and right off the face-off, it was one straight back to Brian York, who shoots it towards Hartzell's blocker side, and the puck squirts through into the net. We got a 3-3 hockey game.
Hartzell definitely not happy about that one. That went right. He had that in his arm, but it looked like it just had enough power to squeak by before he could really clamp down on it. And Connor Jones goes right over. He tried to comfort him there.
I took a quick peek up at Mark Messier after that shot went in, and Messier is just sitting there shaking his head, smiling.
Wow.
3-3 hockey game. 7:15 to go in the second period. We've had great action at both ends. Both goalies have given up a couple goals now this period that they wish they could have back. But a tie game, 3-3, 7:15 to go in the period, and plenty of time left to see what this game has in store for us. Tangle about the faceoff, comes over towards the Nebraska bench, where Davies falls down trying to pick it up. Matt White has the puck now, looking for Robenheimer in the slot. Kicks out to the neutral zone, where Anilowski dumps it in deep. Hartzell back to play it. Davies picks it up. Pressure from Matt White. Kicks all the way up to Kellen Jones, who finds St. Dennis. Sealer lost a step there. St. Dennis shoots, blocked by Anilowski. Knocks it in the corner for Connor Jones. Connor Jones back to St. Dennis, but Sealer gets there first. Anilowski picks it up. Passes it up to Robenheimer. Robenheimer goes far side for a White. Tolkinen loses the puck for a second. White moves in, and Hartzell makes the save on the post. Tolkinen couldn't find the puck there, and it hit his stick and gone into his own zone, where Matt White was able to pick it up. But Hartzell cut the angle down well there. Kellen Jones now works the puck into the far zone, into the offensive zone, picked up by Tony Turzin. Works all the way out to the neutral zone. Puck up in the air, no one can find it except for Tanner Lane, who hands it off to Brian Cooper, who shoots, and it goes through Hartzell's glove for a second there. It went off the tip of his glove, hit the roof of the net, and then kicked up into the top screen. And for the first time in a while, Eric Hartzell looks a little bit rattled.
He does. I noticed that in the past, like once in a while, if he lets up a goal like he knows he should have had, he does get a little skittish. I mean, hopefully he'll be able, for the Bobcats, he'll be able to recover from that, without any problems.
He's shown, we mentioned his rebound control earlier in the broadcast. He has shown great rebound control the whole year, but right the past few minutes, he just hasn't been able to have that down. And actually, there was a penalty called against the Bobcats in that fray against Reese Rollheiser. And Nebraska Omaha back on the power play. They already have one power play goal this period from Johnny Searfoss. They were unable to win the faceoff. Puck came all the way back down into their own zone, where Clay Harvey took a shot on net, deflected off of Michael Young's stick, and up into the screen. So now we'll have a faceoff in the Nebraska end. 5:53 to go in the period. 1:46 on the man advantage for Nebraska. 3-3 hockey game. Langlois versus Zomba on the draw. One back by Langlois, but Archibald gets there first. Walter's looking for a streaking Archibald, but the puck goes all the way into the Bobcats end. Schuster with a good pinch, keeps the puck in, goes back behind to Archibald. Archibald lifts Davies' stick, has it behind the net, kicks it out to Michael Young on the point. Young goes towards the middle. Good stick by Harvey there. Over to Walters, back into the corner for Archibald. Archibald gets tangled up in the corner and then tries to find Zombo. Langlois beats into the puck and clears it into the neutral zone into Michael Young's chest. Michael Young has it down now in the top of his zone. Skates up in the neutral zone and fires a shot straight off Langlois' pad. Langlois is staring at him, saying something. Now Young tries to fire another one in. This one hits Clay Harvey in the glove, and then Davies is able to clear it all the way back down the ice. Langlois has a good pressure on Sealer in his own zone. Sealer takes a little bit of a hack at Langlois. Then Langlois gets wrapped up by Schuster. Langlois 1-on-3 in that corner, but able to kill a few seconds off that penalty kill. Sealer tries to find Searfoss in the neutral zone, but puck got tangled up. Matthew Pekka and Anilowski now battling in their own by the Nebraska bench. Robenheimer's holding up Van Brabant by the bench there. Matt White fans on it, trying to pass it, but they say no ice as it goes all the way down to the Bobcats end. Federico then gets down there, picks it up, and clears it all the way back down the ice. 14 seconds to go on the man advantage. And good pressure there by Pekka causes a little bit of a turnover. Has the puck still. Tries to find Dalhusen. Dalhusen loses his stick. James Polk with the puck over to Matt White. Possible 3-on-2 for here, but Matthew Pekka gets back with some good back check there. Right out of the box, Rollheiser. Rollheiser 1-on-1 with Magna. Makes a move. Shoots. Good block by Magna, though, as the puck squirts over into the corner. Anilowski picks it up. Hands it over to Polk. Polk skates to the middle. Gets through everybody somehow and shoots it off the post. That puck got through Hartzell's blocker side. Picked up by Charlie Adams. Tries to find Gwint in the slot. Can't get there. Rollheiser picks it up. Goes off the boards to Davies. Davies tries to clear the zone. Goes about 10 feet in the air. And then Rollheiser gets knocked off the puck, and the whistle is blown for a hand pass, it looks like. Another great chance for Nebraska Omaha.
Oh, it was. Another shot off the post. Eric Hartzell is definitely rattled from that goal.
The penalty called against the Bobcats earlier was a bench minor. I didn't hear exactly what it was for, if it was too many men or something else, but it was just being served by Rollheiser, and he had a great opportunity out of the box as well, but the puck was spinning and the shot was also blocked.
Connor Jones versus Brent Gwynn, the faceoff in the Nebraska zone. One back by Gwynn. Can't get out of the zone, though. Kellen Jones now has it in the high slot. Rips a shot. Great leg save by Stolaris. Right off his toe. Puck comes around the side. Out to Alex Barron in the neutral zone. Barron corrals it. Trying to regroup the Bobcats. Over to Davies. Up to St. Dennis. Knocks it in deep. Connor Jones has it in the corner. Has his brother in the slot. Tries to fire it in there, but a good stick by Stolaris to deny that pass. Picked up by Gwint. Gwint moves it over to Charlie Adams, who knocks it in deep. Lauren Barron then picks it up for the Bobcats. Moves it up the wall to his winger. Through the slot to Kellen Jones. Kellen Jones circles back in the zone, goes through Davies up to Connor. Connor can't put it into the zone. Tolkien comes off the bench. A bunch of yellow jerseys there for a second, but the puck squirts into Michael Young's skates in his own zone. Van Brabant picks it up, takes a big hit from Brian O'Rourke, but stays on his feet. JST now has it in the far corner. Pocket picked by Brian Cooper. Kicked all the way up the boards to Tolkien. Tolkien wraps all the way around where Samuel Thomas picks it up on this side. Tries to go back deep again. Picked off by Adams. He can't clear it out. Good stick there by Arndt. Arndt tries to find Van Brabant in the slot, but taken away from him by Tanner Lane. Tanner Lane skates through the middle. Good speed going through the middle. Has Van Brabant on his hip. A little bit of a stick there. Loses the puck for a second. And he turns it over. Puck comes all the way back to the neutral zone and down into the Nebraska end. Anilowski circles behind his own net. Goes off the boards to Zombo. Zombo picks it up in the neutral zone. Skates into the zone. Has a man behind him. Doesn't pass it. Federico on his hip. Look for Robenheimer in the slot. Went through everybody, including Anilowski, and all the way back down into the Nebraska zone. Picked up by Michael Young. Fires it up quickly to Searfoss. He tries to find Walters. Walters gets his pocket pick. Pekka and Harvey, 2-on-1. Pekka, loses the puck right because of Anilowski. Anilowski works it up quickly, though. And then Pekka picks his pocket. No one really can get a handle on this puck right now. It is a lot of scrums in every situation. Federico picks it up behind his own net. Tries to find Harvey. Puck bouncing everywhere. Harvey then picks it up again. Finds Kellen Jones in the neutral zone. Jones maybe a little bit gassed in this shift. Gets worked off the puck by the giant Schuster. Schuster still has the puck on his stick. Looks like Zdeno Chara for a second there with that size. Schuster, the assistant captain of Nebraska, turns it over to Bowie. Bowie in the slot, score! Kellen Jones picked up the puck behind the net, picked Schuster's pocket, passed it into the slot where Bowie was all by himself, and beat Solars. 4-3 lead for the Bobcats with 1:06 to go in the period.
What a shot by Bowie. One-timer, wound up with a little bit of a slap shot there right by the goalie. Great shot.
And Mark Messier is still shaking his head. 7 goals so far. 1:06 to go in the period. Bobcats with the lead. Huge goal for this momentum as you can start to see that it was shifting towards Nebraska's way. But all those posts hit and they had come back to tie this game. Big goal for the Bobcats. Place is rocking a little bit right now. 4-3 action. 1:06 to go in the period. And still the whole third period. Anilowski now has the puck off the faceoff. Goes D-to-D with Magna. Magna works it up to Robenheimer. Robenheimer tips it in deep. Hartzell comes out to play it. Thought better of it. Puck comes all the way around where Bowie takes a big hit. Shot goes in through Hartzell's pads again. It goes all the way into the corner where Kellen Jones picks it up. He tries to find his brother in the middle. Searfoss picks it up. Works it back to his defenseman, Magna. 40 seconds to go in the period. Magna with the puck in the zone end. Goes back to Anilowski. Anilowski goes through the middle. Trying to find Robenheimer. Davies with a good hit there on Robenheimer to break it up. Puck goes in on Hartzell. Gloves it down. Hands it off to Lauren Barron. 26 seconds to go in the period. Barron behind his own net. Pressure from Charlie Adams. Works it over to Kellen Jones. Gets picked off in the middle by Polk. Back to Lauren Barron. Loops it back around to Davies. Tangled up with Charlie Adams. Jordan Samuels Thomas tries to find Connor Jones in the middle, but picked off by Gwitt. Puck then ends up back on Youngstick. Oh, he finds Charlie Adams in the neutral zone with some space. Adams shoots, and the clock expires as the puck hit Hartzell's pad. Whew. Some absolutely great action in that period from both teams. Going into that period, it was a 2-0 game. Now it's a 4-3 game, and I might lose my voice. This is great.
I think Mark Messier brought some magic to the building today.
You know, and all these scouts, too. A 4-3 lead for the Bobcats at the end of 2 periods. On the scoreboard, it reads shots for the Bobcats 20, shots for Nebraska 19, and still a whole third period to go. And really, at this point, who knows what this game has in store for us for the rest of the 20 minutes. So we're going to take a quick break now here on the Quinnipiac Bobcat Sports Network, and we'll be back for the second intermission breakdown in just a few moments.
Hello, folks. Rob Samber here at Qbsn. We apologize for the technical difficulties with the commercials. We cannot seem to get them to work. So we're just going to try not to get you out on dead air. We'll keep going. Some games that are going on this afternoon later that we're going to be taking a look at. Northeastern's at Hartford. There is the Catamount Cup tournament, which includes Union playing at Vermont tonight. And Princeton and Merrimack are also in that tournament playing at 4 o'clock. Ohio State's playing at Penn State tonight. Air Force at Minnesota. Maine is playing at Cornell in the Florida College Classic, as well as Minnesota Duluth at Ferris State in that as well. And then there's the Great Lakes Invitational going on tonight as well. 7 o'clock, Michigan Tech versus Michigan at the Joe Louis Arena. At 3:30, Michigan State versus Western Michigan in that. BU's playing at Denver tonight. Niagara at Bowling Green. And I think I said this before, I'm not sure, Northeastern at Harvard. We will come back in just a few minutes with the analysis of the second period. Please stay with us. This is the QBSN.
We are back here on the Quinnipiac Bobcat Sports Network, folks. Thank you for staying with us.
And we are in the second intermission. The Quinnipiac Bobcats leading the University of Nebraska Omaha Mavericks 4-3. Quinnipiac on the scoreboard, 20 shots. Nebraska Omaha with 19. A late goal by Kevin Bowie just to put the Bobcats ahead in the second period. Very eventful second period. Neil.
That it was, Rob. I think we got to start from the very beginning of that period. We go into the period. It was a 2-0 lead for the Bobcats. A little bit of a miscommunication in the neutral zone. Puck ends up on Matt White's stick, one of the captains of Nebraska Omaha. He has a breakaway, goes in with tons of speed, makes an unbelievable move to get Hartzell going side to side, and puts it through his 5-hole. We got a 2-1 hockey game. Bobcats bounce right back, though, when I think it was Jordan Samuels Thomas has it on the far side, tips it forward to Ben Arndt. Arndt skates into the offensive zone and just fires a shot on net from the corner, and it beats Stellars somehow.
You see some of those every once in a while. It's a crazy game like that. Definitely see it in college more than like the younger levels, but every once in a while you'll see it everywhere. And that was just a lucky shot from Ben Arndt. Bobcats get another lead there.
Yeah, and then off of that, Bobcats take a penalty. They go on the man disadvantage, which they've been great at all year. They were 72 of 76 going into this game. I think it's 94%, which is darn good. So they're down a man though. They kill off. I don't know exact time of that power play, but Johnny Searfoss gets the puck in the neutral zone, dumps it in. Bobcats Hartzell goes to clear it out. He must have jumped 4 feet in the air, knocks it down with a glove. It wasn't a hand pass though. He kind of. It looked like it hit his arm and then kicked down towards the slot right to himself. Looks like a hand pass kind of, but it was so bang, bang. Maybe the refs didn't even understand what to do. Because he gets the puck right back, shoots it through Hartzell's 5-hole. We got a 3-2 hockey game.
Yeah, Hartzell definitely was caught off guard there. A lot of goalies, they'll go out. You're supposed to play the puck as a goalie. You shouldn't just stay in the crease the whole game. That's just a tough break for Hartzell, caught off guard there.
And that's what I think it was. I think he was really caught off guard because he cleared it and he got it back so fast that he puts it through his 5-hole before he can really get himself set.
Yeah, watching Hartz on that, he really was not ready for just a shot like that. I think he was expecting a deke. He had like an extra second or two to get in position, but he just, unfortunately for him.
And that's when we noticed the little bit of a rattle in this. Because after that, they hit a couple posts, and then off a face-off, Brian O'Rourke ties the game at 3-3.
Yeah, one that squeaks right through Hartzell's arm. I think that's one that really caught him off guard. Well, not caught him off guard necessarily, but the one that he's really questioning himself about now, why he seemed so rattled after that. It wasn't just like giving up rebounds, but he just looks shaky in net just in general now.
Yeah, and then after that, you can really get a sense of the momentum shifting in the game, in the play between it going towards Nebraska's favor, and then the puck goes down into their own zone behind Stellars. Kellen Jones picks Schuster's pocket, finds Bowie, who has so much space in the middle. He could have done a full 360. Had so much space there, who slams it past Stellars, and we got a 4-3 hockey game at the end of the second period.
Yeah, a great opportunity. Kellen Jones, I think, just great aggressiveness down behind the net there, getting the puck out to Bowie. I think that's the first time I've ever seen Kevin Bowie score. I remember Pete Rossi, a fellow member of the Quinnipiac Bobcat Sports Network, he told me he was on the broadcast play-by-play that night that Bowie scored his first goal as a Bobcat, and he just went absolutely crazy. I wish Pete was here.
It's tough because you're in the booth and you want to hold it in. Oh. But Bowie there was phenomenal. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He saw that Kellen Jones was putting pressure on the defenseman. He went straight to the slot and he got ready. And he must have been a foot off the crease, and he just slammed it home. And that's a 4-3, and because of that, it's a 4-3 hockey game. And I made note before of that one line that I was always told by hockey coaches that in a big game like this, the first thing you want to make sure you do is you got to give a hit or take a hit. The other thing you want to do in every hockey game, you don't want to give up a goal within the last 2 minutes of the period, I'd say. And because that is a huge momentum swing back towards the Bobcats' favor. And now it's interesting to see what Dean Blaze does. If you're Dean Blaze, what do you say to your team now? You were down 2-0 at the very start of the beginning of the game by giving up 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. You battle all the way back to make it 3-3. You lose a little bit of momentum, and it's now 4-3 at 20 minutes to go. You're Dean Blaze, Rob. What do you say?
I think I'm in the locker room right now telling my team, keep playing aggressive. Obviously his conditioning program that Dean Blaze runs, his team can play the third period as long as they need to. But they need to get some goals on the board. I think they need to keep staying aggressive, but they also need to play a little more defensively now because every now and then you'll see like Kevin Bowie or even at the beginning of the game, Jordan Samuels-Thomas will sneak in front of the net. They just let him skate by. You got to keep an eye on every man, play man-to-man defense. And overall, they're not playing bad at all. They just need to keep playing the way they are. And I think they need to try to score as many to kind of space the game out a little bit because he already used his timeout in the first period after going down 2-0.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have that at towards the end of the game if he really needs it.
Yeah. And Bobcats fans, just so you know, we have 1:30 till the play begins again. We're going to stay around the broadcast right up until the period. You made 2 quick notes there on the conditioning. When I got to the rink this morning, they have players doing multiple laps around the rink. I know when I played hockey, I got myself warmed up, but these guys are doing laps, like getting a nice sweat on before the game. But for me, that would tire me out. For these guys, obviously not, because they're still going hard right now. The other thing I want to make note of is I think we're starting to see a little bit of youth out of Stellars. He's a true freshman, remember. kid's 18 years old, or maybe even 17 years old. I didn't do the math out. He's born in 1994. My brother was born in 1994. He's a senior in high school. We're seeing a little bit of youth in that goal by Arndt and the goal by Bowie. Like we said, Bowie's goal was great for the time. Both of them should have been saved, though. It's those situations where the great goaltenders make those saves to help their team win a hockey game. But they sneak in. Bobcats have a 4-3 lead. Quickly, you're Rand Pecknold now. What do you tell your team before this period?
I think the way they've been playing lately, I think Pecknold probably told his team in the locker room, I think probably, in my opinion, probably some things he should have said as well. Play more aggressively, but also at the same time, they do have that 1-goal lead now. I mean, it might be a little different going into the intermission if it was tied, but they do have that lead now. He might have told them to play conservative and defend Hartzell with everything that they have. Keep him, as little amount of shots as possible this period.
Off to the outside, maybe, something like that, because he is a little bit rattled. Let's see if he can bounce back this period.
Definitely.
And play is underway here in the third period. Puck kicks quickly into Schuster's skates, kicks up, and then back into the neutral zone, where it's picked up by Tolkinen. Tolkinen goes off the boards up to Pekka. Pekka tries to tip it past Magna, but Magna has a good stick, and he keeps it in the neutral zone. Puck ends up back on Lauren Barron's stick, comes back to the near side with Harvey. Harvey now out there with Langlois and Pekka to start this period. Harvey tries to fire a shot on net, but it goes off into the corner. Pekka battling there with the big giant Magna. And a big shot by Tolkinen goes straight into Harvey's stomach, but he gets up, just shakes that one off. Play comes back down the other end. A little bit of a tangle, but the puck ends up in the net! 4-4! Ryan Walters pulled the puck out of that scrum in front of the net and slams it past Hartzell, and we have a tie game less than 40 seconds into the period.
Dean Blaze must have lit a fire in that locker room. I don't know. That just seemed to come out of nowhere. A 3-on-2 advantage. UNO just had skating down the ice. A couple passes and a shot there.
And the puck was 4 bodies or so in the front of the net. Puck was just kind of sitting in the middle, and Walters slams it home. And I see now why he's one of the top scorers in the nation. 27 points for him. Now he puts himself solidifies that second place in the nation in scoring for Ryan Walters. Puck goes back down into the Nebraska end, picked up by Sealer. Good pressure from St. Denis. Puck kicks along the boards to Anilowski. Anilowski up past White. Comes all the way out of the zone to Federico, who puts it back down in the far corner. Picked up by Sealer. D-to-D with Anilowski. Tips it up the boards to Robenheimer. Kicks it back through the legs of White. Goes all the way back to the defenseman Sealer. Sealer picks it up, skates to the neutral zone. Connor Jones, a little bit of pressure, puts him to dump the puck down by Hartzell. Knocked down there by Federico. Federico and St. Denis do a little give and go. Then fans on it. Over to Dalhusen. Back to St. Denis. St. Denis to the neutral zone. 3-on-3 gets knocked off his skates, and it looks like Tanner Lane. Puck comes over to Davies. Davies with a shot blocked down by by Brian O'Rourke. Sorry. That one's blocked by Tanner Lane. Brian O'Rourke now brings it up. Dumps it in. Wraps all the way around to the far side for Alex Barron. And looks like Michael Young. Nope. Brian Cooper collide. Puck now back on Barron's stick. Hits a loose stick in the corner. It's Davies' stick. Comes all around to Van Braven. Comes up to Ben Art. Ben Art has the neutral zone. Gets to the red line. Takes a hit. JST dumps it in deep. Solara's back to play it. Settles down. Van Braven. A little bit of pressure on Michael Young. Gets a stick there. D-to-D. Go Van Braven and Turgeon. Young. Young gives back to Turgeon. Turgeon works it in. Fires one on net. Hits the outside of the cage. Rattles all the way around where Charlie Adams shoots it. And it goes just out of play. And the faceoff will come out into the neutral zone. Definite something in step of Nebraska-Omaha right now. They have the momentum.
Definitely. Like I said, Dean Blaze, obviously, we talked about in the pregame show what a career he's had. He must know something maybe the Bobcats don't about maybe the team's just ready to go. They want to win this game. It's all about the heart and soul you put into the game.
And as we noted before, both of these teams, there's really nothing to lose in this game, in a non-conference game. You're in it for the pairwise. You're in it for those rankings. You can really make a big jump by knocking off a number 9 Bobcats team in their own arena. Zombo has it. Looking for Walters, it looked like. Nope, James Polk. And Hartzell ends up colliding with Polk, goes down. Polk has it behind the net. Comes up to the point where Schuster has it, sorry. Puck ends up in the corner. Picked up by Zombo. Zombo loses control. Schuster tries to pass it over to his deep partner Magnum, but it's picked off by Rollheiser. Rollheiser puts it behind, off of the ref, into the corner. Bowie picks it up there, loses the puck to Zomba. Zomba brings it up to the far side. Skates into the zone, has Archibald on his back, tries to find Walters in the corner. Walters turns and fires straight on the net from the no angle. But puck kicks behind the net. Archibald finds Walters in front of the net. Hartzell makes a huge save.
Couple shots there. Hartzell didn't hold on the first one, but finally got his glove over the second one.
Yeah, he was down in the butterfly quick there, but he made a big pad save.
Definitely. Tried to go, I think it was Walters, tried to go for the wraparound there. Something I noticed about Hartzell being shaken, something you don't notice, if he's not shaken, like he knows where he is, like in relation to the net, but I noticed sometimes he'll back up just a little too far where his skates, you could see that they're bumping the post. He's kind of catching him. He really is rattled, you know. You got to hope, if you're a Bobcats fan, you got to really hope that he could lose whatever is bothering him. You know, he can't really let it go. It's tough as a goalie, but you can't really let that bother you as much as it is him.
And I know as play comes up, Samuels Thomas in his shot, scores! Great pass from Matt Pekka to Samuels Thomas in the high slot, and it's 5-4. Bobcats lead this one. Wow.
What a game.
That was a quick, it was like a 3-on-2 break-in. Samuels Thomas gave it to Pekka. Pekka brought it in. Pekka gave it back to Samuels Thomas, and he beat some 5-hole as Stellaris was sliding side to side. And, you know, I just don't know what to expect from this hockey game anymore. This is what I was telling you in the first intermission. This is why I love college hockey. Even though there's no students here right now, this building is electric.
It is. I don't see Mark Messier anymore, but I know he's got to be here somewhere watching this.
Puck behind the Bobcats net. St. Denis gets a good stick on it. Kicks all the way down into the Nebraska zone. Connor Jones racing against Michael Young for it. Big tangle up there. Jones gets it, trying to get to his brother, Kellen. Finds St. Denis. Good block shot by Tony Turgeon in the slot there. St. Denis is trying to go for that far post. St. Denis collides with Anilowski. And the puck comes all the way out to the neutral zone. As you were just making note of a second ago, in terms of Hartzell, when I was growing up playing hockey, my hockey coach referred to goalies as freaks of nature because they're not normal because they want to sit in net and stop a rubber puck that's coming at them at 80 miles an hour or whatever, however fast it is. You can't mess with it too much. There's only so much you can say, so much you can say as a teammate, as a coach, that you don't want to get them shaken. Right now, these goalies have given up 9 goals.
Yeah.
And that's combined. And they haven't given up. I'm pretty sure Hartzell hasn't given up this many goals in a long time this season. I don't think Stellaris has either. Puck comes over to Schuster at the near side point. Broken up by Samuels Thomas. Kicked all the way up into the far end. Picked up again by Schuster. Goes D-to-D with his D partner, Megna. As we noted before, these are two giant defensive partners at 6'8" and 6'7". You cannot miss this pair of Zdeno Charas out there. Ben Arndt now has it in the neutral zone. JST with a good stick knocks it all the way down behind the goal line of Stellaris, where it's picked up by Megna. Megna regroups. Passes it over to Walters. Walters with a goal to start this period. 38 seconds into the period. Brings it in the offensive zone. Makes a great move. Hartzell comes out to cut down the angle. And it goes into the slot where it's broken up. Looking for Zomba. Walters wrapped all the way around. Pekka now one-on-one. Zomba picks his pocket. Back in the neutral zone. Lauren Barron's finally able to settle things down and just clear it into the Nebraska end. Great chance for Nebraska on that chance as Walters wrapped all the way around the net looking for Zomba in the slot. They just couldn't get a handle on the puck. And Michael Young tees him up from the face-off down the middle of the center ice, and Hartzell gloves that one down. Puck goes through Harvey's stick on a breakout pass and ends up all the way down back on Young's stick in his own zone. Bowie now has it in his own zone. Dalhusen collides with Robenheimer. Puck picked up by Pekka. He's got a breakaway for Langlois. Langlois in. Makes a move and a huge save by Stellaris. Face-off going to come out of the zone as Langlois and Stellaris collided, pushing the net off. Stellaris made a great save there. He didn't fall for that first move by Langlois. And Langlois looked like he didn't know what to do after that. And the two of them just collided on that pad.
Yeah, Langlois did put a couple moves on there, and when he saw Stellaris wasn't going to move, he just tried to cut down as much space between them.
And I don't mean to cut you off. They're calling a penalty.
They are.
Langlois went crashing into Stellaris, but Stellaris kept his feet, knocked the net off, and Langlois is getting called for a penalty here, putting Nebraska on the man advantage.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, maybe goaltender interference, but he did. I mean, he was in the act of shooting. It doesn't make sense to me, to be honest.
It was a bang play, and what I think it might have been there is he took so many strides into it, and he just didn't give an effort to stop. That when he collided with Solaris, the net comes off like that. So, regardless, Bobcats back on the man disadvantage. Matt White facing off against Connor Jones here. Kellen Jones, excuse me. They look so similar. It's hard to tell the two of them apart sometimes. And ref is delaying the face-off for a second here. No, it is Connor Jones. I apologize. Battling in the corner is Searfoss. One power play goal already this game. Connor Jones knocks it back into the corner. Robenheimer battling with Harvey. Harvey flips it around this side. It's picked up by Matt White. Matt White goes back to his defenseman, Anilowski. Shoots on net. Goes through Harvey's skate. And Hartzell is able to cover up for another whistle and face-off in their own zone for the Bobcats.
The official call on the penalty to Langlois was roughing.
He didn't make an effort to stop. He just went straight into the goalie, knocked everything off. It's a weird call. It would have been more interesting if he had scored that, what they would have done that. Regardless, 5-4 game here, 13 minutes left in the period, 1:40 on the power play for Nebraska. Sealer tries to go back door to Matt White, picked off nicely by Federico. These teams don't like each other. There's a lot of pushes and shoving after every hit.
Can't wait for tomorrow.
Shot back in on Hartzell, gloves it down, and then clears the length of the ice. A big eruption from his own bench on that one, too. Anilowski picks it up behind his own net. Circles back. A little bit of pressure from Kellen Jones. Moves it over to Sealer. Sealer dumps in and chases after the puck himself. Davies with the pressure on him. Can't clear it up. Dalhusen now has it. Tries to ice it down, but can't. Loses the puck. Archibald passes it over to Matt White. Matt White behind the net. Fends off Davies. Loops back for Zombo. Back to White. Over to Anilowski. Anilowski shoots on net, and Hartzell holds the pads together and gets another face-off in his zone.
Looking a lot better now, more confident. You know, that was a shot through a bunch of different players.
He saw that the whole way.
He did.
It's a rhythm thing. They make a save, they get more relaxed, they get more comfortable.
No, I've always said, you know, just from my witness from youth hockey, goalies are a strange breed of hockey players. Yeah. They really are.
Pekka versus Archibald on the face-off. Archibald was in straight back to Michael Young. Young teases up, but blocked by Pekka's leg pad. Good block by him. Cleared out of the zone by Tolkinen, but not all the way down as Young cuts it off in the neutral zone. Goes D to D with Schuster. Schuster hands it off to Walters. Walters coming up the middle. Walters makes a great move to get by Davies, but Pekka picks his pocket and clears it all the way down the ice. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage for Nebraska. Solaris collects the puck behind his own net. Picked up there by Michael Young. Not the shortstop for the Texas Rangers. Zombo hands it off to Walters. Comes into the offensive zone. Zombo kicks it all the way around to Archibald. Archibald keeps it going all the way to Schuster. Schuster tries to backhand it to Archibald. Goes through Davies. Good shot on by Archibald. Just goes just wide. Young with some space up top. Tees one up. Great block. Oh, no, it hit Archibald on the leg, and Archibald's a little bit shaken up. I hate those are the worst feelings when it hits your skate, a cold foot. Puck stays in their zone, though. Zombo shoots on net. Great shoulder save by Hartzell. Kicks back out. Schuster can't control. Zombo now has it looking for Archibald in the slot. Goes through him into Hartzell, who covers up for a faceoff. 11:25 to go in the period. 5-4 Quinnipiac lead against Nebraska. And for the fans at home, the snow is now coming down here in Hamden.
This could be fun driving down the hill after this one.
I heard it's heated, so that it will be easier.
Oh, really?
I heard it's heated, but you can't bring buses down that if there's snow on it.
Oh, yeah, it's always tough.
And the draw is blown dead immediately by the far linesman, who's pointing towards the Quinnipiac side, tossing Arndt out of the faceoff. Van Braben comes in for the faceoff now against Tanner Lane. A little bit of a delay here. They took a second off the clock. Okay. Tanner Lane versus Van Braben. Scrum in the middle. Kicks all the way back out to the point where Tony Turzon battles with Ben Arndt. Puck still in the high slot. Tanner Lane whacking at it. Everyone's sticks are flying at the puck right now. Barron goes down. Lauren Barron. Puck kicks up in the air. Hartzell grabs it above his net. Puts it down for Alex Barron. Alex Barron over to Ben Arndt. Ben Arndt can't control it. Tony Turzon picks up the neutral zone and kicks it all the way back down the Bobcat zone. Alex Barron back to play it. Gets bumped by Tanner Lane. Puck kicks up over to Brian Cooper. Ben Arndt picks up the corner. Tries to back it out of the zone. Through Jordan Thomas. And it's in the Puck is bouncing around the neutral zone like crazy this game. JST now has it again. Looking for Van Braven. Puck kicks all the way through the neutral zone back to Lauren Barron. Through the neutral zone to Tony Turzon. Puck up in the air. Brian Cooper trying to corral it. Puck comes through the zone. Past Van Braven. Van Braven looks a little bit tired on this shift. Gives a big hit on Jason Megna, though, and knocks him down. I keep saying Jason. It's Jacob. Jason Megna's his brother, who just graduated from there. I was doing research on this team, and they had two giant Megna brothers who lived together. Lauren Barron with a shot on net, blocked down. Charlie Adams picks it up.
Barron brothers playing together on defense now. Alex moving from forward back to D.
Whoa! And Megna shoots the puck from the neutral zone, trying to go off the boards. Must have kicked 10 feet in the air, up and over the entire glass, goes flying just below us.
Wow.
I think that hit the glass of that secretary officer below us. That was loud. Face-off coming back down into the Nebraska zone. To Stolars is left. Gwitt versus Connor Jones. One over to Anilowski. Anilowski loops it all the way around to this side to Charlie Adams. Adams picks it up, tries to get Gwitt, goes through his stick, goes through Dalhussen's stick. Played by Hartzell up and out of the zone and in the neutral zone. Picked up by Sealer. Sealer to Anilowski. Anilowski tries to find Gwitt in the middle. A little bit of a tangle up in the neutral zone. And St. Denis works the puck up the board. St. Denis skating through the neutral zone. Has Kellen Jones in the high slot. Tries to get it to him, but puck is broken up. Kellen Jones then picks it up, though. Finds Connor. Connor with a great shot on Stolars, but a great leg pad by the freshman. Puck comes all the way down the far end for an icing. Unbelievable chance there for the Bobcats, but an even better save.
Bobcats are looking really good this period. It seems like after that goal by Jordan Samuels-Thomas, they just got a lot more confidence. Even Hartzell looks a lot better now. Maybe that's what they need, just another goal, get another lead. Obviously, UNO scored quickly in the beginning of the period.
Maybe that's what it took, though. That goal from them that said that this game's not over. Puck goes over to Pekka. Pekka trying to find Harvey for a 2-on-1, and they can't connect. Tangle up behind the net. Charlie Adams plays it up to Gwitt. Gwitt goes to Polk. Polk through the neutral zone. Shoots on Hartzell and it goes just wide. Comes around this near side. Clay Harvey picks it up. Harvey with pressure from Robenheimer. Robenheimer now has in the neutral zone. Stick handles into Pekka's legs. Pekka picks it up, hands it off to Tolkinen. Tolkinen gives it to Lauren Barron, who shoots it off of Tolkinen again. Ends up on Harvey's stick. He tries to find Pekka far side. No icing. It's waved off. Picked up behind the net by Schuster. Schuster goes through the D with Anilowski. Anilowski to Searfoss. Searfoss tries to find a streaking Robenheimer. Can't connect. Comes all the way back down the other end. And a huge hit by Searfoss on Van Brabant. Puck picked up by Anilowski. Dumps it down into the Bobcats' end. Hartzell looking for an icing call. No icing coming, though. Matt White there. Nope, loses the puck to Ben Arndt. Arndt gives up to Van Brabant. Van Brabant is tired from this shift, but tries to go around Schuster there. The puck ends up in deep. Van Brabant putting pressure on Megna. Now Arndt puts pressure. Comes over to Walters. Walters finds White. White streaking in on this side. Trying to find Walters in the slot, and he can't connect. Van Brabant now tries to ice the puck. Gets knocked down in the center ice by Megna. Megna goes D-to-D with Schuster. Back to Megna. Back to Schuster.
Van Brabant's hurt. Went to the bench.
He was gassed on that shift. He took a big hit from Searfoss in the offensive end. And Trainer's looking at him now. Puck knocked off of Archibald Stick by Ben Arndt. Bowie moving up the side. Moves in the offensive zone. Pressure from Tony Turzon. Dumps it in deep. Langlois there. Pressure on him from Zombo. Up all the way to Davies at the point. Davies shoots in the glove save by Stolars. And a lot of pushing and shoving between Rollheiser and three Nebraska players at the end of that play. 7:33 to go in the period. 5-4 Bobcats lead here in the third.
UNO has taken over in the shots department, 33 compared to the Bobcats' 25. But I tell you, the Bobcats still, regardless, they are looking good offense, defense-wise. A couple shots, Hartzell's looking a lot better. Trying to pepper the UNO goalie with some shots now.
After the faceoff, Davies picks it up, tries to work in along the left side and shoot on net. Just goes wide. Puck ends up in the corner where Tony Turzon has it. Passes over to Lane. Lane tries to find his wing on the side. Puck ends up on Alex Barron's stick. He shoots on the cage, and it kicks up high into the net. Gwitt now battling with Rollheiser in the corner. Tanner Lane now battling in there too. Langlois trying to help him out. Tanner Lane comes out of the corner of the puck. Lane has it in the middle of the ice. Working through the neutral zone. Tries to dump it in. Glove down by Alex Barron. Picked up by Langlois. And they say hand pass. Face-off will come now in the Bobcats zone.
Coach Becknell doing a lot of defensive pair scrambling. We saw the Barron brothers back together, and then just saw Alex Barron going on with, looked like Federico. I'm not completely sure about that. Don't quote me on that. The only one that seems to be staying together was, what I saw before at least, Dalhusen and Federico.
And that's the one thing that he's really done the whole year. He's run 60. He keeps his D out there. He's not one of those coaches that goes down to this 4D in a game. Calvin Jones looking to trying to find the puck in the slot there. Can't get a handle on it. Sealer leaves it for Searfoss. Searfoss showing some great stick handling and speed there to get out of his own zone. Finds Robenheimer. Robenheimer finds Polk. Polk trying to pull a shot off, but it's deflected away by Tolkanen. Tolkanen hands off to Kellen Jones, who's immediately tied up by Polk. Gives it back to Tolkanen. Tolkanen comes around the near side, hands it off to St. Dennis. St. Dennis fans on the puck, comes all the way out to Anilowski. Anilowski finds Gwit on the far side, who fires on that, steered away by Hartzell. Kicked off the high glass all the way to Connor Jones coming up the sideboards. Makes a great move on Cooper. Trying to get by Anilowski, shoots on that, and it's a good save by Stellars. Puck came all the way to the far side, where Lauren Barron tried to get another shot off also, but it was blocked down by Brian Cooper. Cooper can't find it, though. Gwit finds it now, trying to get the puck out, kept in nicely by Dalhusen. Hands over to Langlois, and Langlois gets the puck taken away from him in the slot. Matt White working his way up the ice now for the Nebraska. Loses the puck over to Dalhusen, who hands it over to Harvey. Harvey moving up the side, looking for Pekka in the middle. Hits his stick and careens down into the Nebraska end. Puck ends up on Schuster's stick in the corner. Hands off to Matt White. Matt White flings it off the boards up in the Federico in the neutral zone, who just kind of dumps it in to the Nebraska end. Puck comes out quickly, though, all the way back down to Dalhusen in his own end. Harvey looking for Langlois in the middle. Can't connect. Picked up there by Matt White. Matt White goes off the backboards behind his own net to Jacob Magna. Caught myself that time. Who goes D with his partner, Schuster. Schuster back to Magna. Magna finds Zombo going up the right side, or near side. Shoots in the blocker. Kicked away by Hartzell. A streaking Walters is trying to pick up that rebound. And the puck ends out of the play again. And that one, I don't think deflected off of anything. But as you said before, they're not calling delay of games or in this one, I guess. Maybe there's a college rule. I got to look back at that. Because I thought I saw it called in my earlier broadcast this year, but maybe that puck was even deflected out of play by Nebraska. Yeah. Regardless, face-off in the Bobcat zone. Zombo wins it back to Turgeon. Puts a shot on, kicks it in the corner. Walters looking for Zombo back in the slot, but couldn't get there. Harvey and Arndt come out 2-on-2 against Nebraska. Harvey, a little bit gassed, puts it in the corner where Arndt can't get a handle on it. Archibald and Arndt battle. Arndt puts it back into the far corner where Van Braben goes against Michael Young. Walters now has it. Flips it back to Young in front of his own bench. Young puts it in deep. Pass Hartzell on their near side. Bowie has it there. Pass trying to get out of the zone. Goes straight in front of Hartzell. Van Braben takes a good hit, but gets the puck out of the zone. Davies goes down. No call. And JST gets cleaned out by Turgeon. Huge hit there. Turgeon has the puck behind the net. Goes all the way over to Young. Young picks it up. Looking for Polk in the center, but he can't connect. Hartzell picks up the puck on his net. Holding it there. Polk a little bit of pressure on him. Puts the puck in the corner. Kellen Jones picks it up. Goes over to Davies. Davies getting out of his zone. Davies now finds Connor. Tips it to Kellen nicely. In the shot. Oh. Connor Jones tipped the puck to Kellen. Kellen picked it up and got a shot on net. Not a really hard shot, though. Right into the chest of Stellars. 3:52 to go in the period. Shot total is unofficial on the Jumbotron in front of us. Say 36 for Nebraska, 27 for Quinnipiac. Just under 4 minutes to go in the period. Witt against Langlois on the draw. Wins it back to Anilowski. Goes D with Sealer. Can't connect. Harvey there for the puck. Tries to find Pekka behind the net. Pekka a little bit shaken up. Looks like he twisted his ankle. He's hobbling back to the bench right now. Hate to see that in a player. No, he doesn't go back to the bench. He stays on the ice. He's shaking this one off. Alex Bannon breaks up the play. Tries to find Langlois. Can't connect. Anilowski over to Sealer. Back to Anilowski. Anilowski's going to regroup behind his own net. 3:23 to go in the period.
Pekka gets off now.
Can't connect with Matt White. Two collide a little bit. Bowie trying to find JST going into the zone, but they can't connect. Sealer can't connect with Anilowski, and then a shot comes off from Alex Barron with a good save by Stellars, keeping this a one-goal game. JST now behind the net, has the puck. Cycles back for Ben Art. Good cycle going on here for the Bobcats. Under 3 minutes to go in the period. Stolar still in his net. Puck is stuck in his own zone right now. Bobcats with a 1-goal lead. Ben Art has the puck now. Pressure from Sealer. Gets taken down. Bowie trying to get the puck. Puck ends up on Matt White's stick. Matt White staying out of the zone. 3-on-3 right here. Finds Robenheimer on the far side. Robenheimer tries to shoot, but on our near side, Kellen Jones collided with the Nebraska winger. I haven't been able to tell what winger it is yet. It is Searfoss, and they just go and take out the net. So whatever shot was coming off of Robenheimer's stick didn't have a chance of going in the net because the net was turned and facing the boards. 2:34 to go in the period. 5-4 Quinnipiac lead. Stolar is still in the net for Nebraska. We're going to keep an eye on him to see when he leaves. Face off to Hartzell's right in the defensive zone. Zombo versus Connor Jones on the face-off. One straight back to Schuster. Schuster shoots. Blocked down by St. Denis. Puck goes up in the corner. Archibald fires towards the middle. Tipped by Walters just wide of the net. Puck at the point. Bodies colliding up there. Tangle up along the boards. Kellen and Connor Jones there with Megna. Puck ends up in St. Denis' skates. Archibald reaches for it with his glove, and they wave off. No hand pass. He never actually grabbed it. Dalhusen over to St. Denis. St. Denis backhands it off the boards. Archibald has the puck now. Turns it over to Kellen Jones. Kellen Jones can't get a handle on it, though. Broken up by Zombo. Zombo puts it up the boards. Schuster trying to get there with that long reach. Is able to get there. Walters now has the puck in the vibroid. Takes a big hit from Dalhusen, but the puck goes towards the center of the ice. Archibald has it on the far side, on our near side. Connor Jones then picks it up, looking for St. Denis. St. Denis with a step. 1-on-2. St. Denis versus Schuster. This is the big size difference there. Schuster takes down St. Denis, and St. Denis takes a slash at Schuster's legs, and the puck ends up in Stolaris' glove, covered up for the faceoff. 1:40 to go in the period. Bobcats clinging to that 1-goal lead.
Mike Dalhusen trying to throw his body around, being kind of the only big guy on the team next to Jordan Samuels-Thomas, seeing as UNO, a bunch of big guys who could just throw their body around the whole game.
Yep. Pekka versus Searfoss on the faceoff. Searfoss goes, wins it straight forward, tries to tip it forward to Matt White. Matt White can't get there. But Matt White and his other line mate, Brent Gwitt, collide. Puck ends up all the way back down on Young's stick in his own zone. 1:27 to go. Stolar still in net. Fires it off of Matt White's stick. No icing right at the neutral zone there. Hartzell wraps it all the way around the boards. Knocked out of the zone by Kellen Jones. White hands over to Sealer. Sealer dumps it in all the way back around to our near side again. Harvey's the first one to get there, though. Hands over to Davies. Davies over to Tolkinen. Tolkinen flips it all the way out of the zone, back down into the Nebraska end, and this is going to go for an icing. 1:02 to go in the period. Stolar still in net. Offensive zone face-off, though, for Nebraska. Are they going to pull him now? I see a hand motion from Dean Blaze, but yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Pecknold is screaming about something up here. I think he thought that the Bobcats had got to the face-off already, so they couldn't pull him. Regardless, he's off the ice. Zombo versus Langlois tangled up on the face-off. Puck kicks out to Schuster. Schuster has it at the boards. Tangled up there by Kellen Jones. Puck flips up there. Langlois has it. Can't clear out of his own. Great, held in. Great, nice up by Archibald. Archibald now trying to bring it down that side. Ends up on Walter's stick in the corner. Under a minute to go in the period. Bobcats with a 1-goal lead. Schuster has it at the point. Shoots on net. Tangled up in the slide. Kicks over to the near side boys. Harvey has it there. Clears it up over Matt White's head. Schuster corrals it in the top of his own zone. Trying to regroup. Shoots it off of Kellen Jones' pad. Zombo picks it up. Gives it back to him. Almost turns the puck over to Kellen Jones there. Langlois losing a little bit of gas. Just gets it into the offensive zone. And they're going to say offsides as the puck was in the air. He crossed the blue line before the puck did. 22.9 seconds to go in the period. Bobcats still clinging that lead. Stolar is out of the net for Nebraska.
It looks like they're going to keep him pulled with the face-off kind of close.
Face-off on our near side, yeah, in the neutral zone.
Closer to the Nebraska-Omaha zone. I'm a little surprised by this move. But
Connor Jones versus Zombo on the face-off. Zombo wins it clean back, though. Straight to Young. Young moves it up to Zombo. Zombo works through the neutral zone. Dumps it in. Wraps it all the way around the boards to our near side. Matt White there. Battles with Harvey. Matt White now has it. Trying to get control of the puck against Federico. Harvey and him collide. Puck still scrambles for in the corner. Federico tries to clear it. Walters has it there. Hands over to his point. Matt White goes out of his reach. And there it is. The horn sounds, and it's a 5-4 win for the Bobcats. What a game.
Tell you, this was one heck of a game. I'm glad I got to be on the call for this. I'm sure Mark Messier is probably shaking his head somewhere in this arena. What a game. Back and forth action. Bobcats had that first period, and then after that, it's kind of just lost it for a little bit. But
yeah,
nonetheless, they come away with the win. Got another chance tomorrow to sweep UNO, chance to redeem themselves tomorrow as well.
Yeah, and you're listening to the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network. We're going to take a quick break right now, then come back for a post-game show, talk about the adversity that the Bobcats dealt with this game.
Rob Samber here on the Qbsn, folks. Just reminding you, we are having trouble with our commercials today. We'll try to fix this for the game tomorrow. We're just taking a quick break. The final score here: Quinnipiac 5, University of Nebraska Omaha 4. Neil and I will be back in just a few moments with the post-game show. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome back to the Quinnipiac Bobcats Sports Network. Neil and Rob here on the post-game show. Again, a final here from the High Point Solutions Arena. Quinnipiac beating University of Nebraska Omaha 5-4. Neil.
I don't even know where to begin with this game because it had a little bit of everything. I made a note at the end of the broadcast of the game, the adversity that Quinnipiac went through this game. The adversity that both teams went through, you have to really say. First, for Quinnipiac to have a 2-goal lead twice. They were up 2-0, then 3-1. Lost both of those leads when they made it 3-3. And then when the game was tied twice, 3-3, make it 4-3. Then Nebraska ties it 4-4. Then they take the lead again, 5-4. And they were able to hang on for the win. I think at this point, you can't get too far ahead of it, but this team is so much like the team from my freshman year, the 09-10 team. They became number 4 in the nation. We can't talk about rankings yet after this weekend, but obviously beating a number 12 team will help, depending on what they do tomorrow. But they're number 9 right now. This team just looks a little bit different so far. It's only been one game. But they had multiple times tonight where they could have said, you know what, this game isn't ours, the momentum's on the other side, and they didn't do that. They didn't fold. It was impressive to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was really a crazy game. I mean, a lot of back and forth play. The Bobcats, like you said, they came out the first period, it's the first game after kind of a long break, a little bit shorter than most of them have been the past few years, but it's like they came out like they didn't miss a beat, and the first period on a high note, they were up 2-0. And
that's something that they don't do often. I know we've talked before. They haven't been able a lot this season to put first period goals in to give them that extra boost in the very beginning, and let alone 2 goals in the first period, let alone 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. That is where the adversity for UNO really kicked in too. To be down 2-0 on the road within the first 5 minutes of a game and still come back to make it a 1-goal game and fight the way they did, it's real impressive, and it makes tomorrow's matchup even better.
It does. Coach Blaze, I think he made a smart decision calling that timeout after the second Quinnipiac goal. He had to calm his team down then. I think that really helped them as well.
Yeah. So, quick note now, today's game is at noon. Tomorrow's game is at noon. How do you think that plays into the way players prepare for those games?
I think it's when they have to wake up earlier than usual because they're used to playing games either 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock, so they get to wake up a little later. I don't know if they do morning skates like they do, like some NHL teams will do, but I just know it's all in their prep work, what they do before the games, superstitions and whatnot. It just depends on how they prepare for the game. They got to wake up a little earlier, but maybe they're more prepped because it's so close to maybe they got their breakfast in them more.
Maybe it's one of those things where they have less of the day to think about it.
Exactly.
Leading up to the game.
That's true.
Before they wake up and bam, they're playing hockey. So at first I was like, why are they playing back-to-back noontime games? It doesn't make sense. But at the same time, here's the way I look at it now, is you got a team coming in here from across the country in the Midwest. And New Year's Eve, New Year's is usually a time when you're with family because you're celebrating the end of one year, start of another one. If today's game is at 7 or whatever, and tomorrow's game is at 12, it would have been too close. Tomorrow's game is at 12 so that the Nebraska has a chance to get on a flight immediately afterwards and be home before the end of the day, I would imagine. So, and I mean, at the same time, this works out great because I just walked down for a second, and there are Bobcats fans leaving from this side of the arena to go over to basketball because the basketball team plays at 3. So it's difficult to adjust to playing back-to-back noontime games, but I view it as more of a thing where you just have less time to think about the game. You wake up and you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of felt the same way. You know, in youth hockey, obviously, you're not playing like in college, in the pros, where pretty much all of your games are at night. You know, you have most of your games. I remember my first game that I ever played was at 5:30 a.m. I mean, luckily, it was down at the Northford rink.
That's literally you wake up and you're in hockey gear already.
Oh, I was. I woke up. I think I slept in my jersey that night, if I remember correctly. I was only 8, so it's a little fuzzy, but, you know, I was ready to go. Got up, got dressed, and ran to the rink. I lived, like, I don't know, for those of you who haven't heard before, I do live about a little less than a half mile from the Northford ice rink. That's where I played. And Quinnipiac used to play. That's how I got into hockey, really, from Quinnipiac as well. Just a little side note.
Yeah. So shifting gears towards tomorrow now, you come off an emotional high of this win. Put yourself in Petno's shoes again. How do you refocus the team?
You know, it's tough because it was a lot of back and forth. I think tomorrow the main focus, obviously, come out to the same start they had today, but they really need to play better defense as well because they had a lot of times where they would let some players squeak by. And obviously, Hartzell, after that one goal, he really was shaken after that. So if that happens again, it could happen again. It could happen at any time, but you need to be ready to protect your goalie at any time during the game because anything can happen. Maybe, you know, take a turn for the worst, the absolute worst, where he falls down. You have to put in Gardig, Michael Gardig.
And this was the first game where I think you can say that Hartzell didn't immediately in the other games they won it defensively. There was a number of games they gave up 1 or 2 goals or whatever. This game was one without Hartzell playing phenomenal. They won this game because they saw that they can score also.
Yeah.
I don't think that we see Stellars again tomorrow in that for Nebraska. What if you're Dean Blaze? What are you telling your team after that loss?
You know, overall they played a pretty good game. It's just that one goal by it was Ben Arndt from the corner.
That shot them in the foot a little bit, I'd say.
Yeah, you know, that's tough. I mean, that can happen to anyone. I mean, without that goal, it's a tie game. We're in overtime. We're watching overtime right now. You never know. Anything can happen with hockey. I think, obviously, yeah, he's got to be a little mad about the way some things went. A couple turnovers here and there, and then Quinnipiac just getting the opportunities, like leaving the guys out in front of the net as well, like Kevin Bowie and Jordan Samuels-Thomas. But I think right now, that's the one thing he's going to focus on is those turnovers and leaving guys out in the open in front of the net. Other than that, I think he's just going to tell them to play the same way they can.
Yeah, I agree completely. And it's just, I know beginning of the year when this team, the Bobcats were struggling a little bit, it was a matter of this team really wasn't crashing the net that we were hoping they would. And this game alone, you see them get, I think we can make a note of the stat sheet here. I think 4 of the 5 goals or something right from the slot, if not right in front of the doorstep, but right from the high slot. So interesting to see if they are able to maintain that again tomorrow. The one thing that really did impress me from Nebraska Omaha was their scorers. They had that Matt White breakaway was a great move. Searfoss had a great shot himself. Even the Brian O'Rourke shot was a great shot to beat Hartzell on his blocker side. So definitely interesting. It'll be very interesting to see what happens in tomorrow's game when these two teams come right back out there. There was plenty of that college hockey drama, pushing and shoving. Teams don't like each other. So it's a case of, can Quinnipiac find a way to sweep this Nebraska Omaha team and get 2 big wins against a non-conference opponent? Or does Nebraska Omaha try and get a way to at least pull one out before a long trip home? So that'll do it for our broadcast today. Rob and I want to thank you all for listening. Thank everyone from Sports Info. Thank Jack McDonald, and thank everyone at Quinnipiac for today's game. Like we said before, we're right back here tomorrow on the air at 11:45. Puck drop at 12. Same 2 teams, same place. Talk to you then.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.